Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
I'm great, buddy.
This one's a long time coming. This is a huge event. We're here to celebrate the release of Pain of Truth's debut LP, Not Through Blood. We are joined by 1/4 of the Smith dynasty, Long Island royalty, the baby boy, the crown prince of Long Island, Michael Smith.
What's up? What's up?
How are you, Michael?
I'm good. How are you guys?
So good.
Doing good.
Nice. Thanks for having me.
We are both the youngest of several brothers in a musical family, Michael.
Yes.
Chris and Danny both playing in Backtrack. Your brother, your eldest brother being like the president or something.
Yeah, he's a lawyer. That's something different right now.
Close.
He's in a different field of work, but he's in the law.
He's kicking professional ass somewhere while you're kicking
He is.
non-professional, unprofessional ass.
Yeah,
Unemployed
unprofessional.
asses.
Was the path to hardcore laid out for you? Yeah. Did you have a choice to get here?
Yes. I did.
Really?
Yeah. I did. I did have a choice. I could have just kept playing basketball or something.
Are you good at basketball?
Yeah, I was when I was younger. I was pretty good.
Really?
D1 or what, dude?
Nah, nothing crazy like that. I started smoking weed too early in high school. And just didn't.
High school. Did you make like a decision to, like, I'm gonna get into music instead of sports?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think of like the first experience I had with music, like live music, people playing guitars and everything. And
Yeah.
it was pretty early on it, like that I was pretty set on, like I always wanted to do it, like seeing Christopher play in bands, even like way before Backtrack, like just in the basement, them practicing.
Yeah.
Were you peeking around a corner looking like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't think about, if you asked me when I was younger, if I'd be doing it when I'm gonna be 29 in a few weeks, I'd probably be like, oh, that's crazy. But just being around music and everything, I always wanted to be definitely be involved, especially when I went to a Backtrack show and got involved in hardcore,
That's the classic story, right? You saw Franz singing for Backtrack.
I did. Franz was at a really early Backtrack show on Long Island, at this spot called the Black Box Theater, and that was the first time I met him. And he actually, I remember that night he stayed at my parents' house, and I think in the morning, my mom was like, "Oh, gonna make breakfast for everyone," and he said exactly what he wanted, so a tea, ingredients, very specific, and she was like, "How do you know I have that?" And he was like, "Oh, I think they might have raided the fridge the night before."
He responded in perfect Italian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, como se dice? Colin, did you make a choice from? Were you ever a sport guy?
Fuck no, dude.
Really?
Couldn't skate, couldn't throw a football. I was flexible, so I was like,
You're still
spin
flexible.
kick or
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Those are my options.
I played baseball a lot.
Were you good?
And I mean, I have long arms, and
You
I
really
was the
do.
only kid who could make a play from. I played third base. I could make the throw to first and make the out because I could throw really far.
That extra length.
I just whip
Those
it.
extra
I
6
don't know.
inches, dude.
This is what my dad would tell me. But anyway, I was batting and I got hit by a ball and broke my wrist, and I wasn't able to play guitar. And that was well, fuck this. All I want to do is play guitar. Why am I? And then later on, fell skateboarding, broke my thumb, couldn't play guitar. I was like, well, fuck skateboarding. It was literally all these accidents made me into just committed guitar player.
The butterfly effect. I would say I had a half guide in Taylor and a half reverse guide in Taylor, because it was very much listen to this stuff, but also
Fuck you.
fuck you. Don't come in my room,
No, I get that too. I had the same thing. I was gonna bring it up earlier when I was talking about them practicing in the basement. I think the band was literally called Vitalo, like the band, which is hilarious. Isn't that hilarious? Did you hear about that ever or no?
No, Vitello had a Danzig?
No, no, he wasn't in it.
He wasn't in it?
The way I remember it, the way I remember it coming about was they were in a band called At Best. Not Vitalo, just Christopher and his friend Tim Chimenti. I forget who else was in it, but they were they would practice all the time and Vitalo would always be there. And then they started playing shows and like it wasn't like New York hardcore music or anything like that. It was more like I don't even fucking know what you call it, just like some Long Island like melodic, but Vitalo,
Silent Majority type stuff, or
yeah, like a little bit more like emo-y, I would say, you know.
Fuck yeah. Dude.
But Vitalo nonetheless would just pit like Leeway was playing like that they played
to practice.
Yeah, like
That's so cool.
They wouldn't really let me down there like when I was younger, you know, like so that's why I was bringing it up. I'd open the door and they'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like,
so Chris would say that to you?
Yeah, like probably not so aggressively, but he'd be like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here!"
Okay,
like, we're busy, you know, like
yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh shit, like,
dude, Colin, you got to start a band called like Bavault or something."
Well, I was just telling you about how I wanted to open a coffee shop named Scanlon.
yeah.
So now that just makes me want to do it even more.
That's
so Chris, you're telling me Chris hasn't always just been like the best guy ever?
No,
the best, most supportive guy?
No, he's been the best guy ever forever, but he was
You're the little brother, you're the little fucker.
Yeah. I mean, like nothing like too crazy, you know what I mean? But when he was like 13 to 15 in those first couple bands, he took it very seriously and be like, "Yeah, I don't like want you down here messing around," you know?
Yeah.
But that made me want to do it more. You know what I mean? Like the first person I saw play drums, that was like, cause there was guitars around my house and like little amps and shit. So it was more normal. But the first time like someone set drums up downstairs and I was like, oh shit, it was our friend, Sean McMahon. And he's a good drummer, so like I remember being like, "Holy shit, that's fucking awesome!" And
do you play drums at all?
Yeah, I could play drums. Yeah, nothing like I can't back it up like you, but I could play a little bit. Yeah, I wrote.
How do you work this thing?
I wrote "Acting Up." That's the first single
on drums.
I wrote it on drums with like when me and Nick got to the studio before everyone. We flew in like a night early. And I think we got in like late as shit, and it was like two something in the morning, and we just weren't sleeping. And I was like, "Yeah, I wonder if we could just go in this like in the room where we were gonna record." I was like, everything was set up, so I was like, "Oh, I wonder if we could fuck around in there." We only had 9 songs at the time, or we might have had more, but we knew we were gonna cut a couple of them.
Right.
So we just started fucking around, and I was on the drums, and that's why like that part kind of King Nines it, like the hi-hat part.
Yeah.
Like we just broke there and like looked at each other. I was like, no, we were like, oh, fuck it. And then he was like, oh, the song's dope. I was like, dude, that song with the actual, like with Nick, the drummer on it would be insane. And
you're telling me Acting Up, single one, my favorite song on the album,
was not a song on the flight there.
Sick.
Which is sick, you know? And like sick. There was question whether or not to put it on, like, or to even like start recording it, or maybe we would record it and save it for something. But then like once it was actually recorded and then like they heard the lyrics and everything with it, they were like, oh fuck, all right. Like
you know what we call that, Michael? HardLore, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have a video of us like the first run through.
Here it is, right here.
You want to see like the
wow, that was awesome.
That was amazing.
It's kind of
you can send it to me. I'll put it in the episode.
Yeah. You can do that. I'll send it to you.
Everybody just saw it. It was awesome. They loved it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm trying to think. I think most guitar players who I know can play drums,
a little bit.
Most drummers can play a little bit of guitar too.
Yeah,
I feel like if you can write, because there's a difference between playing and writing.
True.
Yeah.
I think if you can write riffs, then you fundamentally understand what you want to happen on drums a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it. Like I don't like I wouldn't never take away like saying I write the drums, but at the same time, like I'm showing a riff and it's like, all right, the drums are going to sound something like this. You can fucking do like whatever.
I want you to go, dude, gotcha, half the battle once again.
I want you to go.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that part. We'll get there.
Yeah, man.
How does it feel? So with Chris and Danny in mind, you know, they paved the way. You had a choice. You chose to be here, and now here you are, the last man standing on the road.
Yeah. I mean, like Christopher is with. He joined I'm the Avalanche with Vinny from like the movie Life, the other band he's got.
Which and that's got to be an insane full circle thing for him, right?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, like that was even for me, honestly, like
he was the Avalanche.
Yeah, for sure. Like I remember listening to I'm the Avalanche like when I was younger and like thinking like they were the fucking biggest band ever. You know, when I was in like 5th grade or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy that I'm like the last one, like kind of touring like a lot. Like, right, you know, so it's
congrats, man.
Fucking awesome. Yeah,
enjoy
dude, it feels sick. I'm happy that it seems like it's working right now, you know.
And it's got to feel good for them. We've talked about it many times on the show how many doors Backtrack opened. Just like the gates between Long Island and the city were opened and have been opened since. As like now it's one unified
for sure
thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
So that this journey that they started and worked so hard
is kind of still going through.
You're doing it. You are the proof of like that their work paid off.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So when it came to writing this, was it collaborative? Are you?
Yeah, no. This one was like more collaborative. I mean, honestly, the only reason the other songs were not more collaborative between us was just because I just fucking wrote that shit in my room in like a couple days, and like it was just me and a drummer recorded it, and like there was no band yet, you know what I mean? So there wasn't anyone to really collaborate with. Like no one.
So Pain of Truth was I don't mean to say this in a derogatory way, but it was like a pandemic project.
Yeah. I mean, I had the songs a little bit before. Because I had like, I want to say the song Pain of Truth. I had a recording of me when I was in Europe with Hangman. I had like a video I gave the bass player like when we were sound checking. I was like, yo, record me playing this riff. And it was like pretty much that song. So I had a couple of them like started already, but it was probably intended to be Hangman songs originally.
Yeah. What made you make it something different?
Those I mean, Hangman did a lot, and you know, we weren't super hyped up band or anything. We were just doing a lot of that because we just wanted the experience of touring and being together. You know what I mean? Some of those dudes are a little bit older than me, and they just had to like buckle down. We were making absolutely, you know what I mean? There was no money involved or anything to really keep it going. So
they didn't have the same grind set.
Were you playing in Hangman when we played a show together in Aniata?
Oh yeah, I think we like touched on it a bit on like the short that we did.
Yeah. I forgot about that show. I didn't realize that you were in that band. I didn't even realize it.
The SWAT like showed up and shit because I think it wasn't even anything too crazy. I think someone just got hit.
Someone got hit, and the person who was like kind of putting on the show was just coming up to me to talk. And like, and she was like, you need to make an announcement or whatever. And I was like, there's the microphone. And she was like, well, stop the noise. And we were just like, no.
Yeah, I remember. And there was like actual like riot police there and like gear and shit. It was on a campus.
So it started as more of you and like one other guy as just kind of a project. At what point did you know it was going to be a full-time band?
I guess more so like because all right, the real thing, like, the first song, Pain of Truth, I wrote it like Hangman in Europe, like whatever. But when I was really getting it together, I can't say his name. I don't know if you want me to say his name on here, but I have a childhood friend that he went to prison, and I grew up going to shows with him. He's a drummer. He's the first dude I ever jammed with, like 5th grade, like playing like covers with and shit.
Yeah.
Was he in Stand Your Ground? with you?
No, but he was the only reason he wasn't in Stand Your Ground though is because his parents were just fucking hardcore on him. Not the
Oh,
good
okay.
kind. Like they were just very strict with him.
Yeah.
He's the best kid ever. He's such a good kid. Always had jobs and shit. And like I never really understood it, like why they gave him such a hard time. But he was in jail for something, and I wanted to give him something to look forward to when he got out. So the plan was to like do like 3 songs or something, like 3 or 4 songs, like record them with one of my friends that doesn't really just do it for fun,
Yeah.
And then when he got out, or if I could get him the tracks in there somehow, which honestly is pretty easy, like where he was, it was like we could have figured it out.
Right.
And he could have just learned them, like give him something to look forward to, like when he gets out, to just like try to put like a benefit show or something together for him, like get some money together for him when he get out.
So that was like the only goal of Pain of Truth.
That was really like the original.
Awesome.
That was just me too. Like didn't have anything to do with anyone else. That was just between me and him. And I gave him the idea, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, that'd be so fucking sick." But I guess like when you're in a situation like that, like sometimes like other things in life, I'm guessing just there's like more important things, like when you're wasting so much time sitting there. So towards the end, I had the songs, I showed them to him, and he was like, dude, this is sick, but I'm gonna get married when I get out and get a job and like have a kid. And that's exactly what he did. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he knew, and he said, he was like, yo, the songs are fucking dope, and I'm never gonna be able to do anything. We're gonna play like one show. And that honestly could have been awesome too, but
that's a good man.
Yeah,
that's honestly like why I got all the songs grouped together. It was because Hangman was kind of like slowing down a little bit because everyone just honestly we didn't have the money to keep doing it. And then I was just kind of bored, and I had him sitting there talking to him every weekend, and I was like, fuck it, I have a couple tracks. I'll just like, not that they didn't mean anything to me, but it was like, oh, I have them. I'll just like, what's the point in sitting on them? You know what I mean?
Right.
Then like once he said he was out, then I was just like, I didn't really think about it for a while. I think I sent him the Lumpy just because I knew he'd fuck with the style of it.
Yeah.
And he was the one that really, I think he hit me back up and was like, dude, you got to sing on this. And I was like I sang in a band before. I hate listening to it. Like the lyric and like all the lyrics and shit now. I was younger when I did that, but and he was like, yeah, I think it would be fucking sick. Like, I think it's time for you to do that. And I was like, I'll try it and see how it is, And I don't really remember like when it became an actual, I guess when we put it up on like online,
Did you have the Northeast Avengers assembled before putting it up, or did that come after putting the music out?
In terms of like, was everyone on it?
Yeah.
Because once I started doing the vocals, then I started hearing like backup vocal parts.
Yeah.
And that's when I hit Nick up. Like I really just hit him up to come. I think like the first text to come.
Hey man, you gonna come? Yeah, I'm on my way. Where's Nick from?
He's like from 5 minutes down the road from me. He's
Long Island.
Yeah. He's Long Island. I'm Long Island.
Ridge is Long Island.
Ridge is not Long Island.
Oh.
Ridge, honestly, he deserves an episode anyway, but maybe then we'll all find out where Ridge is from. He's from St. Mary's County. He's just in like, that's like Collins.
What is that?
Come again?
Who is St. Mary? Which one is she?
No, St. Mary's County. It's like south of Baltimore. It's like a little spot.
Oh.
I've never been, but any opportunity he has, he lets people know that you got to go to St. Mary's County. Apparently, it's the most beautiful place in the world. But
so is Ridge the northeast aspect of the?
Yeah, and then and then Zach, the bass player, he was like in Connecticut for a while, but now he's awesome. He's in Brooklyn now though, so yeah. But yeah,
Pain of Truth Northeast Hardcore, the longest Instagram handle.
Yeah, kind of awesome though.
I 100% agree.
They all thought that was so stupid when I first made it. That They were like,
But now everybody knows it.
yeah, it sticks out. I feel like
Yeah, you can't. If you tag it, it's gonna fucking.
yeah,
It's got its own gravitational pull. It's awesome.
yeah. But yeah, Nick. I think the first text that I sent to him like about the Pain of Truth thing was like, "Oh, dude, I need someone to do backup vocals on like a couple of these songs. You want to do it?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he just came to the studio and just like I remember him listening to it, and he was like, "Dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, what the fuck? Like, I did not expect it to be like sound like this. Like this like
Was he like, did you know that I played guitar or what?
No, I mean I've known Nick for like I've known him for over 10 years now, and I always wanted to be in a band with him. Like me and him just clicked like the second we met like a while ago. And he was always so busy. He's like he's like a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? Like he's always at work.
Isn't he like your age though?
No, he's younger than me, dude. He's younger than me, which is insane.
He's he's a living question mark.
I know, dude. He's the fucking man, though. He's a character for sure.
The Riddler.
I always wanted to be in a band with him. And honestly, that's why I hit him up. Like, just because it was like, oh, whatever. Like, it'll be down on paper. Me and you were in a band. We'll be able to look back on it one day and be like, oh, that was sick. Remember? Like,
yeah.
We were in a band for like a couple shows or something. Same thing with Ridge. Like, I just like he was doing the artwork. That's what it was. Ridge did the art, like the dog or whatever for me. And he put the logo together, and he sent me the last song on the first release, the LINYHC song. He like sent me that last track. It was a little bit shorter. I added like a couple riffs into it to make it a little.
But that was him just messing around.
Yeah, like dude.
Wow.
His whole fucking. It's fucked up. He's
psycho.
Like his files, like he's got a whole like E-Town record that he just made for fun. Like it's so good, it's insane.
Wow.
Like I was like, dude, you better like actually put this out one day.
People are gonna be dying for it after this. Now that it's out there. He is like an actual brilliant musician. It's crazy.
Dude, he really is. And I'm nothing like that. So it's crazy hanging out with him and like watching him like do his thing. I'm like, dude, you're fucking, because it's funny to him too. I think like how good he is, like how good he really is. Like it's
silly.
Yeah, it's almost like a joke. Like he thinks it's funny. Like the better he gets. But
you assembled these two incredible riffers. You know.
Yeah, and it's sick because like if you watch the first show that we played, like none of them knew each other. You know, it was only like Nick didn't know Ridge.
Whoa.
Nick didn't know Zach. Zach didn't know Ridge. Like none of them knew each other.
And that was
like, the first practice before the first show, like the day before the first show. They walked in the practice room and they were like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Nick. I'm Ridge."
Oh my god!
Introduce him. Then we went to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, fuck yeah. I think Lumpy posted a picture. The first show was at Amityville Music.
Yeah, we did two.
Yeah, you headlined your first two shows.
Yeah, we sold them out too. That's why.
How did you have what made you think to do that or think that you could do that? You did it. So congrats. But what was the gimmick there where you were like, what if we just fucking headline?
I don't know, dude. The vibe was just something about like it was probably mainly like the pandemic, and it was like, oh, people are gonna be itching to go to a show.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we put the flyer up before. I could be wrong, but I think like it wasn't really happening yet. Like shows weren't really going going.
Oh.
I don't think
so. Was it 2021 or 2022?
Yeah, I think it was 2020.
I remember it was near ours, and we both had the dual black and white.
Yeah.
For two shows, and I was like, there we go.
Yeah.
Same wavelength.
I remember being fucking psyched on that. But I don't know. Yeah, it was. I don't know whose idea. I don't think we ever questioned not to. I don't know if that sounds like bad, but
the bands like you had like King Nine and Tsunami on there.
Yeah,
bands whose first shows it was not.
Yes,
and they all didn't even think about it. They were just like, yeah, sounds sick. Let's do it.
Yeah,
that's
fucking awesome, dude. Tsunami was putting on for us like right off the bat. I didn't really know any of them either prior, so it was. I think like I met a couple of them when I was with Hangman over there, but we didn't really like get a chance to click too hard. I think it was like Death Threat Hangman was in Mexico together, and then we went up to Cali and we fucking played the Hands of God record release like in like a school. And that's like the first time I really linked up with any of those dudes. But the second
they're
that
awesome.
Painted Truth came out, they were all like backing it, and they were all popping off at the show, like at our first show, like all going crazy. So
It's amazing.
I love all those dudes. Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you play your first show. You headline 2 of them.
Yeah.
To start.
Two sold out first shows.
2 sold out first show debut shows. Does it dawn on you immediately like, oh, this is a fucking real thing, whether I knew it or not?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I knew it was gonna like real thing in terms of like,
this is my job
like,
now.
No, not like that. Like I'm still, dude. I don't believe shit until it really is like right in front of me and like I have it. You know, I try not to get too excited for anything. So I kind of had that mindset like from day one with it. You know, but I knew like I was gonna try. I definitely knew that.
Sure.
I told all them I was like, I'm gonna at a certain point I'm gonna try to like go out and play some shows. So if you guys can't do it because of work or whatever, like I just want to like be up front. So find some guys to do it, you know, if we have to. And for the most part, everyone was cool with it. So we were able to keep going. And then once we played a couple out of state shows, I think like Nick saw the vision of it more, and he like, you know, took risks, I guess you could say, or trying to think of the right word. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like he quit his fucking job.
He committed.
Yeah, he like, you know, that's what it came down to. Like we all slowly, show by show, we were like, all right, dude, this could be like cool. You know, we've all wanted to do this shit. We could try to do it right now, you know. So
and having them in the band now is Bo asked about writing already, and you know, we're skipping ahead. I like to do these chronologically, so we'll backtrack at some point, no pun intended. But how collaborative was this record with you, Ridge, and Nick being 3 like prolific riffers?
Yeah. So it was pretty, dude, we're like, I've never been in a band that's so honest and open with each other. We've really, like, knock on wood, like no disagreements. If someone doesn't like something, it's just like, I don't really like it. It's like, all right. Like even if I did it, like even if I wrote it, I'm like, all right, fuck it. Because Ridge is gonna write something insane anyway, and vice versa. If Ridge writes something that's like that we don't like, someone else is gonna pick up the slack on it. So like we're pretty, and that's worked the whole time. So like we're not trying to fuck with it at all. I think it also helps that we're all so far apart from each other that like we're not always together. You know, it's not like we're in like a practice room twice a week or something, like meeting at the same time every week.
It wouldn't surprise me if you were, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's real. That's the real NYHC destiny.
Yeah.
We ain't played a show in 10 years, but we practice 3 times a week.
See, like we're the complete opposite. I can't remember the last time that we practiced. Like we haven't practiced in so long. So I think it kind of helps though, like a little bit, honestly, because we're never at each other's throats or anything. We're always chilling. So.
I love to practice before a show, before a tour, whatever. But practicing just for the sake of practicing is my least favorite thing.
It's the worst.
It's my absolute least favorite thing.
Dude, I was just talking about it recently. Like I feel like it might be like some younger kids when they're trying to be in a band, it's like we just gotta practice every day. We just gotta. Then it's like I don't know. I see the side of it, or it's you guys might sound really good, but you also start to fucking hate each other because you're just.
I think when you're learning an instrument, obviously it's different. When it's we gotta practice well enough to play a song.
Yeah.
But once you're cruising, dude, once you're a self-sustaining entity, it's more about rehearsing.
Yeah, I agree.
The set or whatever, rather than like, how do we play these songs?
Yeah. I got you.
You would think. I mean, some of my bands, these motherfuckers be forgetting. Let's go back in time a little bit, Michael.
Yeah.
Were you? That you say you're a relaxed, laid back guy. You guys, the vibe is chill and Painted Truth. You guys all love weed. You've made that very clear. Were you ever an edgeman, or were you born smoking marijuana cigarettes?
I went to my first show, and I don't think. I mean, I was too young to be getting like I wasn't getting trashed or anything. I definitely like snuck a few beers or something by that time. I was probably like 12, and like first or second show in, I remember like Sealy and Vitalo coming up to me and being like, "Oh, youth crew, like you're in the mainly Vitalo was like, yo, you're youth crew, you're," and like I didn't understand the whole. I just heard like, "Oh, like you're in, yo, you're
Yeah.
in," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck yeah, 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 fuck yeah." I think I put it on like a stand your ground shirt, like stand your ground youth crew on the
Oh.
back,
Oh.
Like
but like,
literal youth crew.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, I was already like starting to roll joints with like receipt paper or some shit.
Yeah, there you go.
So then, but I was smoking weed or had a beer or something at a show not too long after that, and they were like, "What the fuck? Like
That's
You're
not
not
youth crew.
Yeah.
that's not youth crew." I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "That's like you got to be straight edge." Like, no, and I was like, "Ah, dude, that's not me." Yeah, I was just
Tell
being
me.
honest. You know what I mean? I didn't want to
Yeah,
Of
fake it.
course.
I could have faked it. I
You
could have
could
been
have.
like, "Yo, dude, you know what? You're right," and put it down. And then 2 years later, I would have broke. So, but yeah, I was never edge. I actually stopped drinking. Like it's been like a year now. So no,
Congrats.
yeah, no alcohol for a year feels so much better,
Yeah,
honestly.
dude.
Really?
So that's cool.
Boys,
I still
weed
smoke.
is
Weed's chill.
it's awesome.
Yeah, weed is chill.
My dad is fucking dope.
Yeah,
You know?
Is he?
my mom is
that's
too.
awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Tell me
So,
about Stand Your Ground a little bit, because I remember becoming aware of Stand Your Ground
that's awesome.
and hearing about the 12-year-olds playing hardcore in Long Island,
Yeah.
which feels like this cyclical New York hardcore story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which made me excited to see what you would eventually all come to do. Because a lot of the time, them 12-year-olds disappear, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
course.
For sure.
But
Oh,
here's
yeah,
one now.
They did.
They
Nah,
did?
some like no, some disappeared for sure. Like a couple of them are still in it. I mean, they're not like in touring bands or something, but they still go to shows, every
Yeah.
weekend. I still see them.
Fuck yeah.
Some of them are in bands still. One of them's in that band Standstill from Long Island.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool.
So, but honestly, Stand Your Ground, it's fucking awesome.
Dude, it's awesome.
It's fucking awesome. That's like one band that I look back on and that I'm like, I could like listen to it and be like, oh, dude, I'm like, that's sick. I wrote that when I was fucking 13 years old,
That's real, man. That's real hardcore.
And that was all just like Lindenhurst high school kids, like just from my hometown.
Yeah.
I would say like three of them, like there was three of us so two other dudes and me going to shows like every weekend and like making it like a thing. And then the other two were more just like metalhead dudes that like
Played instruments. They happened to play.
they like really new,
okay.
I seen one of them kind of recently. He's the fucking man, but it's just a different type of musician.
That
you know
is
what I mean? And like he's like knows I don't know how to fucking play guitar. Like I learned tabs, he knows how to read music,
Yeah.
like
that is
different-
such a
just two
high
different-
school.
just two different things. So like he liked it when it was right in front of him, the shows, but like he wasn't thinking about it when he went home. Like, oh, I can't wait till I can do that. He was
Right.
like thinking about playing like stadiums or shit.
That's such a high school thing.
No, totally. Yeah,
There was
like,
there was a band that was like our we had a band in high school, and then there was another one, and they had this guitar player who could fucking Randy Rhoads, like sweet,
Yeah.
like unbelievable, couldn't strum, couldn't
Dude, I
It's
see.
like the most bizarre shit.
Yeah, I mean the kid's so nice, so it's not even like in a bad way. But the kid would definitely. This one guy from my high school, I know he kind of keeps up with everything that we've been doing, and I know he's just like, how the fuck is this kid playing these shows? Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck? Because he was so good at guitar and like just knew all the music theory shit and like sweeps.
Oh,
and
dude.
doing all that shit.
I got a bunch of those from
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
guitar players in my high school are fucking fry cooks now,
Yeah, straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
because they don't know they masturbate on the guitar. They don't write, so they're not doing anything.
That's the other thing. Like, I don't know how to put like a song on and necessarily just play it. But if you give me a guitar and a joint, I'll fucking write.
Yo,
write
give me a
tracks.
tree and a baseball bat and a tambourine. I'll write you a whole album.
Yeah,
Fuck a guitar, dude.
yeah. So, but yeah,
So stand your ground.
Stand Your Ground was sick. And there's like a couple There's a couple pictures of our first show, and it's just so funny because it's from kind of like the side behind us a little bit. Like you could see the back of me with my guitar, and then out into the crowd. And it was like a teen night at like the local Moose Lodge. But we booked like 4 like punk hardcore bands on it.
Yeah.
Kind of took over the night. Then there was like one like techno thing or some shit. But the crowd is just like one level going like this, and then I know it just goes like up like this because it's just like Vitalo, Dan Sealy, Drew Cassaberry, I think was there.
That's awesome.
Just like Scanlon, maybe Jake Zimmerman.
Scanlon
Like-
booked it. Scanlon booked the Moose Lodge.
No,
He's
he
like, I
probably
got
booked
this
the
teen
show. He
night
probably
thing.
looked at the venue and was like, "Oh, this is going to be a good spot." Maybe that. Yeah.
Did Stand Your Ground play out a lot? Did you play out of state at all?
No. We almost played Connecticut one time, but it fell through. But we did get to play with a lot of like we played with Alpha and Omega when they came through,
Nice.
which was sick, dude. I have it like it was. I'm trying to think how old
Is
I
that
was.
at AMH?
No, that was at this spot like out east more. I think it was in Ronkonkoma. It was like they only had a few shows there, but someone's mom like got lost. Classic story. I got lost on the way there, picking us up, so it was late, and it was like the mom that like didn't know anything about the hardcore shit. You know, if my mom was
Yeah.
picking us up, she like kind of got the gist already, like what was going on. But this one was just like a regular soccer mom, you know, and she was lost. She was calling us, freaking out. She couldn't find it, and all the Alpha and Omega dudes saw us hanging out, like waiting. We were probably the last ones there, and they stuck around and like we just like chilled and
Awesome.
watched them like climb light posts and shit. When we were like 13, we were like, dude, these guys are awesome. Like,
This is gonna be us.
yeah. But yeah, we got to play with them. We played with Rotting Out and Soul Search on Long Island, which was
Nice.
fucking awesome. Yeah, we
What
got to
was
play a
Stand Your
couple-
Ground? What were those all you guys into? Like, what were your favorite bands at that time?
I would say the drummer Ryan loved Hammer Bros.
Dude, fuck
Hammer
yeah.
Bros. Yeah.
And he still does, honestly.
Yeah.
He still does. He loved Hammer Bros and Throwdown.
Fuck yeah.
And
I love
This guy sounds awesome.
the other guitar player that was more, he loved like Metallica and
Dude,
fucking
this is a youth crew band
It's the best band.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
coolest guys I know.
yeah.
He's awesome.
I'm trying to throw some respect on my man Brian too. Brian was more of like a Long Island guy. Like when I showed him, he loved like Take Back Sunday and shit. When I first met him, when I showed him Sound Majority, like we were young too, and I showed it to him. And I was like, dude, they went to this high school. He was like he just moved there too. Like he moved.
Oh, okay.
He moved to
Oh.
Lindenhurst too. So to him, he was like, "Oh, I just struck gold, like moving in." He kind of did because we still fucking hang out to this day. So.
He really did, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Stand Your Ground is fucking awesome. It's on Bandcamp.
Check it out. It'll be in the description. Stand Your Ground.
That's so
fuck
sick.
Yeah.
Michael's first band.
That's
Yeah.
so sick. I love that.
Was Hangman next?
No, there was one in between. I don't want to talk about it.
So Hangman was next. Tell me about Hangman. Tell me about Hangman coming together. You were on guitar for Hangman as well, right?
Yeah. I was just like went to college for a little bit, and my roommate was he's just so crazy. He's just a crazy guy, and he liked hard music, but he just didn't have anyone to like show him the way to get to a hardcore show. You know?
Okay.
And he was from Long Island, but we just got linked up as roommates together.
Really? What kind
yeah.
of what kind of music did he like if he wasn't, like
He's super into, he was a pretty like just on his own kind of guy, a loner guy. He was playing a lot of video games, I think, at the time. So he knew certain shit from video game tracks and then like went on YouTube and started like
badass.
venturing off. So I put like a TUI poster up in our room and like very quietly, he's like, "Oh, like, I listened to him I found it on YouTube. I listened to it." And I was like, "Dude, that's fucking awesome." Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are they? Yeah, that's
for
fucking
real,
crazy.
For real. So then like the weeks went on and I asked him to come to a few shows. I remember Power Trip was playing Long Island and I took the trip back to Long Island to go see Power Trip. And I was like begging him to come. I was like, dude, you'd fucking love this shit. Trust me, come. And he's like, it's like, I feel weird. I don't know anyone, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. And then we fucking.
Little did he know, a Smith was going to show him around Long Island.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then,
so lucky.
And then there was like a party at a lacrosse house at our school, like off campus. And we went classic, fucking just got our asses kicked by like 15, 20 dudes, like bad, like pretty bad.
Okay.
It was pretty bad. Like we fought a couple of them, but then it just turned into like we were at their house, so it got pretty fucked up. And he was banged up specifically. Like
the roommate was?
Yeah. And maybe 2 days after that, it was like Blind Justice. I think record release. It might have been their record release, or it might have just been a Jersey Shore show. It was Backtrack, Down to Nothing, Naysayer, Blind Justice, maybe Outcrowd or some shit, something like that. Those block of bands out, and I was like, dude, you're coming to this fucking show. I shaved his head right before. All these lacerations all over his head from the fight. And I remember pulling up, and I don't remember exactly who, but someone was just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he just mean ass fucking
looked insane.
But it's genuine though. Like, I'm not gonna spill his personal shit, but he had a hard fucking upbringing, and he's just been through a lot of shit, but he's a nice dude, but he is legitimately fucking crazy. And
nice.
Right when I brought him to the show, and like when you were younger, you bring like a group of friends to the show, and like maybe you skated with them or just hung out, and like in school, like maybe like 3 out of 5 of them would be like, what the fuck, this is weird. And then there was the 2 that were like, yo, I'll be there next weekend.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
He was like that. He was the one that I could tell right away. I was like, oh, he's going to come to every fucking show with me now. And he did. He just kept coming to shows with me. And like, I knew he had a lot to say. And I knew it would be rough because he's never done it before. But I had the songs, and I just felt like it was the right, like, I was, dude, do this. Like, you'll fucking.
Wow.
He was like, I can't fucking get up in front of people and fucking say shit, blah, blah, blah. Dude, like a couple months into it, he was like, it changed. If you talk to him, he'll tell you fucking straight up, like it changed him. You know what I mean? Like he's like a better person ever since then.
Wow.
Dude, so that's like, unreal.
Yeah. So, and then Ron, the drummer, I went to Oneonta Punk Fest. It was like a huge fest. Like every band in the world played. It felt like it was like Fury of 5 and Marauder and King 9.
That was the one. Harm's Way played it. That was the one where
the one. Did you guys get paid?
He couldn't pay anybody. No, we didn't get paid.
Yeah, I know.
Well, actually, I should rephrase. He ended up, this poor fucking college kid ended up going bankrupt.
Yeah, I know. He had to drop out of school. He had to drop out of school. Dude.
Yeah, because of a fest. Yes, he declared. And we got
2 days.
Yeah. We got like payments eventually of like, $80 every couple months or something.
Yeah.
And we got our guarantee eventually. We got it.
I know someone pulled him aside at the end of the night and like took pictures of his ID and shit. And we're just like, dude, if you weren't like 16 years old, we'd fucking kill you. But
well, I know there was a moment where I don't know if it was this kid, but it was whoever was settling. He was like to our camp was like, I know I'm supposed to pay you guys, but I'm really worried about paying some of these New York bands.
I have the exact same fucking story. You could keep, you could keep
and
going,
it was, and James, James was just like, yeah, pay them.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I went up with, I forget who the fuck I went up with. I think Detriment is like James Alosio's like band back in the day from Long Island. And I went up with them and was staying at like an apartment from like someone's dorm room or some shit. And the kid who booked it walked into the room and we were talking and he was like, yo, is your brother in Backtrack? And I was, yeah. And he's like, oh, can I talk to you quick? I was like, yeah, I guess. So he's like, oh, like, do you think you could hit him up and see like how much like they're expecting to get paid? And I was like, no, dude. Like, how do you not know? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah,
that's step one.
He was like, I want to like know. Like, he was like, I know I gave him a number, but I want to see if like it would like if we could like
a reduction or something. Yeah,
like it didn't do it. And I was, dude, you're on your own. And I was like,
Yeah.
you fucking got yourself into deep water. And then the venue, do you remember the venue, Bo? It was like,
Yeah. Well, there was one that was like a strip club.
oh
And
yeah,
then
you're right.
there was
You're
another
right.
one
Yeah,
that was like
you're
the
right.
full thing.
Worst setup in the whole world. You had to walk like 10 minutes to get to the other
Yeah.
venue.
Yeah.
It's
That was
so
crazy.
stupid,
That
man.
was,
So
it's funny seeing like there's that fest in Little Rock that we're going to be at. There's a thing in Oklahoma City or Oklahoma that you're playing.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. It's crazy to see those fests and that they're like selling out and doing so good. Where when was this Anianza Fest? It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was probably in like 2000 and 2015 maybe or something.
It was like
14.
Yeah, so ambitious and did really poorly, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just crazy that like that kid was just he was ahead of his time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, man. He also put like it felt like there was 200 bands on it. Even the second
Where is
day.
Anianta?
It's
Dude,
upstate New York.
But it's in the middle.
Fucking
So it's
up.
like
yeah.
it's like same distance from Syracuse, Buffalo, Albany, and the city. So you would think
But not those.
but not. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Not the places where people already go see bands.
Dude,
So-
that was fucking. I think we
Yeah.
did that as a one-off. I think we drove to New York and didn't get paid and drove back because the guarantee was really good. So we were like, "Oh, fuck it, we don't care."
Yeah. And
And
Hangman played that too?
No. So I rolled up there with Detriment, and after the first day, I was like, Jesus Christ, I cannot stay here another day. I gotta get fuck home. So I was scanning the room, and I was like, who's from Long Island here? And I'm like, there was only a few people, and I saw this one dude that I would only see in the King 9 pit, and like, dude, he would come to the show. He was with another dude, and they would show up for a King 9 or Backtrack, just mosh so hard and not say a word to anybody, and they would just go home.
Wow.
And that was, and like, I think everybody noticed it. Like when I say everybody, I mean like just anyone that was, you know what I'm saying? Like anyone.
They are.
yeah.
Like
Yo,
And it's fucking Phantom of the Opera, dude.
like, it was a thing. Like people threw respect on him. Like,
Yeah.
and I saw one of them on Oneonta, and I was like, dude, that dude's from Long Island. I'm gonna ask him. So I walk up to him, I'm like, "Yo, can you drive me home to Long Island? Are you leaving tonight? Are you gonna stay for the extra day?" He's like, "No, I'm getting the fuck out of here." And I was like, "Dude, I know we don't know each other, and it's like 5 hours, but can I please come back with you? Like, I don't want to stay here." And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave in the morning now. And I was like, all right, cool. So I met up with him in the morning, and that's Ron, the drummer from Hangman. That's
Wow.
that's
Awesome.
how I clicked up. That's how I clicked with Ron. Notorious King 9 ass beater.
So that's all it takes, guys, if you're listening.
Yeah.
You've said it 100 times.
I've said it 100 times. If you mosh real good all the time, somebody's going to take notice and they're going to want to be your friend, and then you're going to join a band with them and have a friend for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty much how Hangman started. That was like the two key pieces that.
Wow.
So I wrote tracks with him. A couple of, like, when I got home, he mentioned on the ride that he'd play drums sometimes. And I was like, oh, I got some tracks. Classic thing. Be like, oh, we'll jam sometime, you know? But then we
Classic
actually
thing that does not ever pan out, but happened to pan out.
But we actually did meet up, and it was sick, dude. Hangman was fucking awesome. Like,
it was, dude, the tracks are really good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was just like a different, something about the time period that we're in right now.
Oh, dude. I mean,
know
that
you
was.
guys feel it. Like, it's
yeah,
it's
dude.
crazy.
2015 to like 2017 was kind of stark when it came to some tours and some shows and stuff. I don't know what it was, but
especially for like a straight up like hardcore band.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing too crazy about, like, if you like hardcore music, like Hangman's a fucking hardcore band. Like, there's nothing
100%
too crazy. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's not like
the Hangman. You guys put that up while I was at the gym one day, and you posted like new Hangman album out.
Yeah,
and I listened to it the entire day.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
So immediately something about your songwriting resonated with me in a way that was like, this kid's got something.
That's fucking sick, dude.
He's here,
that.
man. He's got something.
Yeah.
So when Pain of Truth went up, it was like, all right, he's fulfilled his destiny and he's the singer now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Lumpy I think was on too. Like,
Destiny, dude.
when he was saying like, "Yo, it's your time to like, do the thing, like go fuck
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game," blah, blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
the same type of vibe that he was
Because
saying.
there was a charisma to the way you played guitar. You know, it was like clearly you're part of the show rather than just a guy playing songs.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
Which that guy, you always look at him and go, that guy's going to sing in a band. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
So that being Pain of Truth makes a lot of sense that kind of became your. This is your Pain of Truth has arrived now.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
It was this pandemic project that turned into a full-time touring entity.
Yeah. It was also a good way to like not, I didn't know it at the time. I just thought that's just the way it is, which it is. But like I learned a lot from being in Hangman, and like, dude, we played shows for no money, like multiple days in a row, like straight up like emptying my bank account, like quit my job to do that. Wow. And like I said, it's not like it was the craziest shows we were playing. We were just doing it because we were getting a little older, and we were like, damn, like we all just want to tour, even if it's not like the biggest thing. You know what I mean? We still just want to do it to like say we did it,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it definitely taught me a lot. And it makes me appreciate, like if Pain and Truth was my first band, I'd just be like, oh, this was fucking easy. What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
It makes it a lot more like I could appreciate it, Like when I play if we play a crazy show, like I'm like, this is fucking insane. If we play a show to 100 kids and there's kids singing along, I'm still like, dude, it's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
You paid your dues for sure.
Well, it's crazy that like you were doing Hangman and you were just like, just want to tour, just want to do it, want to, grind, and it didn't pan out the way that you would have obviously preferred.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this thing that you're like, all right.
Dude,
when
right?
you're kind of not in that mindset, and that's
always how it happens.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're not, when the pressure is off, something magical happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes.
True.
It really is just kind of, it's amazing. And now you're, headlining, sandwiched in between a Colin Young fucking weekend in Oklahoma. And just
I didn't even notice that. You're playing both days, right? Or is it one day you're playing both?
No, it's both days.
Both days. Yeah, no big deal.
No, I meant that in parentheses, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Close parentheses.
And having, some of the most memorable moments from a lot of the fests that we've been to. We've seen Pain of Truth a dozen times over the last year in different states every time. It's
never been bad.
And it's never been bad.
It's awesome. Fuck yeah.
Which when we did the mini in Boston, I think you had 7 songs out. Mm-hmm. You probably played nothing but good shows.
Yeah.
You've toured Europe now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed? Have you played a couple stinkers or
what, in Europe?
Anywhere?
Yeah, dude.
Have you played a bad show yet? You have.
Yeah, totally.
How did you find Europe?
Like
I know you had been there before, but
mainly in Europe, like we played like a couple that were like, but honestly, I don't know if it's just the Hangman thing. Like, I never really get off stage and I'm like, yo, that was, because either way, even if it wasn't like a crazy show, it's still like, dude, I'm in fucking Germany.
I'm in
like,
Bochum, dude.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Yeah,
I share that mentality, but the problem that I have is then you'll randomly play like Stuttgart and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like then you will have a show where it's like, oh, I could be in Richmond right now for all I know. Like everyone's going insane. It's always like some fucking army guys who like got a weekend pass from a base that they're stationed at. And so then you're just like, what the fuck then?
Well, just every country has a Springfield, Missouri. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
They're all out there.
Wow.
No distance. Hey, Springfield, Missouri proved itself as a place bands needed to play in the early 2010s. So no diss to Springfield, Missouri.
There's a Springfield every state.
Love me a Springfield.
So it's any state. But I know that's a really well said.
So touring Europe with Pain of Truth. Touring in general, where your thing is guest vocals.
Yeah.
Which I feel like at a fest, super easy to pull off.
Definitely.
There's a billion guys there. They're dying to sing a part.
Yeah.
What is that like touring?
Honestly, like what? All right. So when we first were recording just the first Mentorship songs and like the idea of all the guest spots came on, it was like like I didn't picture playing shows with it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I just like
Yeah.
thought it would be cool to like have it down, yeah, like in recorded and everything. Then we started playing shows and the parts that are guest vocals, I see more kids singing along to those parts. So like I think it kind of it's rough. It could be rough sometimes. Like I've played a show where I just sing all the parts, like in Europe. Like, but honestly, not even because if we're in when we were in Europe, like we had Tsunami there, and they all pick up a track and
Yeah.
like
Who you
it's
tour
not-
with is
like
important
we're
for
yeah. Like it's not
Yeah.
obviously we're not gonna roll out of the van with like Freddie Madball and Justice with us at every show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
But
Well, I wanted to ask you about even just getting all of these contributions. Like we had a hard time scheduling and getting the three of us to sit down and talk, right?
Yeah.
How did you
that's
fucking-
mainly me though?
How did you coordinate? What is it? 9 out of 9? 9 out of the 10 tracks
think
have
it's
guest spots because one doesn't have a
10 out of 11.
I think
Right?
it's 10 out of 11.
10 out of 11.
Yeah. I mean, like,
It seems like a nightmare.
it, I don't know. Like, it just is what it is. So I didn't really, we don't really think about it as like a nightmare because it's like the end result, like knowing like that what it's going to be. It's like, all right, well, it's going to
Very true.
Like to me, you know, I think it's dope personally. I
No,
told
it
you
is.
guys in the other one, you know, I think like I always thought guest vocals and shit was just cool. I love hip hop, so like it doesn't really seem that crazy to me. And I see kids like, oh, like they must be compensating for like shitty music or something like that, you know? And like it's that
It's just a thing no other hardcore band is doing, and that's why
Yeah.
it's awesome.
my thing is like it just literally doesn't even have to be. Like it doesn't have to be. Like it doesn't have to exist. It does. I made it because I think it's hilarious that there's a million people and it fucking worked and it's just recorded and it's out. So like
Do you
there's
have
no,
a
like you know, does that just sound like stonerish or something?
No,
dude?
no.
Like when
No.
I read something like that, I'm like, what the fuck do you care? Like
That was Socratic, brother. It doesn't have to be, but it is.
But it is.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite guest spot on the new record? Is there one where you were like, damn, like
Yeah, for like the Freddie Madball one, dude.
yeah.
I was.
I mean, you
There's
have
a
so many
really-
parallels to his journey that I have to imagine. Does he know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we like because he toured with Backtrack a bit. I think they did like a few Europe runs together. So, dude, I was trying to meet him. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I've seen Madball since I was pretty young. I've seen them a few times when I was younger, and I always fucked with Madball. Always like that would. Vital would come over. You gotta listen to Madball. You gotta listen to Madball. Like before I even knew,
Hey.
you know. And then
What do you listen to?
I told you
He's
guys on
the
last
best.
thing.
I mean, him
Yeah.
as a spirit guide is like,
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
he's going to teach you the passion, the
Yeah,
unteachable
yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like key piece in like me being in it, you know.
You
There's a
sound
really-
like him too.
There's a
Yeah,
really cool
that's-
thing
yeah.
on that track to sounding like him. There's a really cool thing on that track where the vocals kind of blend and then like it like kind of it'll switch through a phrase from one to the other.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a really cool touch because like it'll be like sentence of only one, sentence with both, sentence with only the other one
I got
as
you,
it like goes through the verse. I think
Yeah.
that's like fucking awesome because that's
Yeah,
unique
dude.
too. You don't hear that in hardcore bands.
Yeah, it was sick too because I mean, it wasn't. They were all super organic, like the way they came about. Like I wasn't sending a million emails out or something like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Michael from this band. We do
Yeah.
this," and it wasn't, you know, like if I linked up with Freddie 2 years ago and I had a dope song that sounded like "Hold It Down," I'd be like, "Hey, dude, do you want like, you know, if we were talking about music and shit, I'd be like, hey, I got this track." But it just happened to be like we were literally in the studio in Chicago. We just finished that song, and me and him were going back on Instagram back and forth through the band accounts, like trying to work out a couple dates that we were doing. And he was just like, "Oh, dude, like I have like shitty service or something. Like it would work better if we text." So then he sent me his number, and I was like, "Fuck, Freddie Freddie Madball's phone number. It's fucking crazy. So then we started texting, and I was listening to all the tracks, trying to figure out
where to
like
put
the
them.
rest, yeah, like where to place them and shit. And I was just like, dude, this song just reminds me of a Hold It Down like era of Madball song.
Yeah.
And so I just
So you figure it out after. You don't approach writing like I'm gonna write this song for Freddie to sing it.
No. But I did.
That'd be fun.
When I did, like, I didn't write all these songs. It was collaborative. But I did write that riff, the opening riff to it.
It does have a
very
hold it down
like
feel.
When I wrote
like
it,
the song,
I was definitely thinking about like Hold It Down and like, oh, like I need that. That was one of the last songs we wrote for it besides Acting Up, because like I said earlier, that was in the studio, but that might have been the last song that we wrote. And I'd probably have a text to Ridge like, dude, like I've been trying to write like a Hold It Down track, like all these different riffs I have, and I just can't get it. Like, do you want to try to like do something, like try to like write something like that? And it never works like when you're trying to like trying like that, you know?
It has to just happen.
But like listening to all the other songs, like if you listen to Not Through Blood without You and Me on it, I don't know, like it's there's something like it's just a very like straightforward hardcore track. And like I felt like it was missing that. So like
it's a good intermission between
like
because it's kind of like the first couple tracks are like, hey, here's Pain of Truth, this is what we do, and then a little splice of something different, and then back to formula.
Exactly. So like I felt like it just needed that. And then like I said, we would finish the recording, I was listening to all the tracks, trying to like figure out where to place them, and then me and him were just texting, and I was listening to the song. I was like, I'm just gonna fucking send it to him. Like, what's it gonna, like, the lyrics were already on there. And I sent it to him, and he was like, dude, this track is fucking crazy. He was away somewhere, so he was like he was like in the airport or something. So he had time to listen to it. He listened to it right away. And I was like, yo, like, would you want to hop on the track? And he was just like, yeah, 100%. He was like, let me just like rewrite some of the lyrics or whatever. Then he texted me another like 2 minutes later and was like, fuck it, I just listened to it again. They're fucking dope. I'm just gonna sing them.
That's awesome.
Like, that's fucking dope.
So sick. Where did you record in Chicago?
The Bricktop.
You recorded with Andy.
With Andy, yeah, with Andy.
I had no idea. That was the first 5 Harm's Way records.
Yeah, he
releases
mentioned
were all there.
it. He mentioned it to us. That guy's a fucking man. He made it sound so crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Did he mix it too?
Dude, I'm the fucking worst.
Oh,
I have no idea.
You're amazing.
I have no idea.
You're real NYHC, dude. That's awesome.
I bet the internet knows.
Us asking Jeff G last week where Declination was recorded, he was like, I don't know. That was the perfect answer.
Yeah, but how long? That's hilarious that he just has no idea though. That's awesome.
I love that. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
I want the new wave of New York hardcore to tell me I don't know who mixed this shit.
Yeah,
it sounds dope though.
I don't know who mixed it. Honestly,
It was
respect whoever it is.
It was recorded and mixed by Andy, mastered by Bill at Azimuth.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Andy mixed it.
So Andy done good.
Andy Nelson.
Andy done
Shout
really
out
good.
Andy Nelson.
Yeah,
Chicago HC basically.
Chicago HC, Weekend Nachos, recorded
Weekend
fucking
Nachos,
every goddamn band.
Do you find it was putting Ridge in the band a power maneuver to have like the best contemporary shirt artist?
Dude, like it's so fucked up because we didn't, but he is like it wasn't a thought, and none of this was a thought.
It's so brilliant.
A thought, dude. Like he sent me the artwork with the fucking dog on it, which is just a logo with on an image, like a JPEG, like a random Google image. And like I said, he sent me that one track, the LINYHC track, and it was only me, Nick, like Killer Nick.
Did you ask him to?
Who?
Did you ask Ridge to send you that song?
No. He sent me the artwork, and the track was in the same email. It was like, hey, this is like, if you
what
wanna,
if?
He was he didn't even want in. He didn't. I don't think he wanted in. He just said, yeah, hey, I have this. That's what I said. He's got a whole fucking bank of crazy.
I have no idea how that ended up in that email. That's fucking crazy.
Ooh, did I accidentally dropped this like incredible new song in there?
Was that me?
He was just like, dude, like if you want to use this, you could use it. I've had like it kind of fits the same style. I've had it for a while. I'm pretty sure like he ripped off, like if you listen to it, it's like a ripped off like figure 4 part or some shit, like the intro to it or something. Because
Kudos to you for saying that publicly. You know.
yeah, I don't think he'd give a fuck. He'd probably be psyched, honestly. But
Figure 4 would probably be psyched. They'll.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not like too familiar with like the lineup of who they are, but we were somewhere and Ridge was like, "Yo, this is so and so." He played like he never met him either, so like they were like hitting it off, and I think Ridge told him like, "Yo, listen to the first track that we opened with. Like it's probably gonna sound great." Like, the guy's like following us and shit.
Well,
Always, like,
Andrew's
keeping on.
friend of the show. So Andrew, if
Yeah.
you're listening,
No,
got another one.
no, he knows too, because Andrew was putting on for us from like day one, and I'm pretty sure it's because he heard that song and was like,
Pardon this interruption. We have got to tell you about a brand new sponsor today. Take it away, Bo. Bo?
Oh, I could barely hear you with this Loop earplug in my ear.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Loop, for sponsoring today's episode.
Really excited about this. They're awesome earplugs. They're very comfortable. They come in a little case that you can put on your keys or whatever.
So
They got
sleek.
super sleek. They got all kinds. They got different tip sizes and everything, so you can make sure it stays in there like you want.
Every musician should be focused on ear health. If you work in this field at all, your ears are your job at the end of the day, and Loop is here to hold you down. Therefore, HardLore is here to hold you down.
You can use the link in the description below for 10% off worldwide.
Wow. Thank you so much, Loop. It is also Manscaped time, baby.
Is it ever?
Man, I've been making it a new thing where I tour the islands every day with my whole Manscaped catalog.
How do you mean?
I use every single one of them every day. just for consistency's sake, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a bigger fan than ever. A year and a half into this relationship.
I use it every day.
Every day. We got to try the new one.
The shaver.
Dude, it looks awesome.
It does look cool. The handyman, it's called.
Maybe next week we'll have some handymen for our new episode.
We could certainly try.
Manscaped. Code HardLore for 20% off plus free shipping. You know the drill, man.
They got it.
We
all.
don't mess around. Manscaped. It is also whatnot time, baby. We're going to have a very special whatnot next week.
Yes.
We will provide more details about that next week. But for a very good cause, near and dear to our hearts, we got test presses, we got shirts, we got all kinds of stuff.
One-off things and random old shirts, stuff you can't get anywhere. And it's like watching a live podcast episode with a chat, and we interact and we hang out. And you can't ever see it again, so you got to be there to experience it.
That's right. It's an elite experience. Whatnot is like Twitch meets Cameo meets eBay. These live episodes, these live experiences where you get to buy stuff at the end of the day from supports people directly. And in this case, on our case next week, support a very important cause to us directly. You click the link in the description for $15 off your first purchase. You will not regret it. Whatnot, the place to be. We've got one more set of ads, Bo.
No kidding.
This is an interesting one.
What do we got?
Our buddies at Danny Wimmer Presents. They got Louder Than Life and Aftershock Fest coming up. They wanted us to tell you guys about them.
You were at Aftershock.
I was at Aftershock last year, which is the biggest biggest like hard rock metal festival on the West Coast.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was 4 days.
You had a great time,
like
you said.
150,000 people, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And last year it was like Kiss, Danzig.
Yeah.
That was one day.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You said MCR rocked.
Dude, MCR was crazy. Unbelievable.
Who's playing this year?
This year, Louder Than Life, we've got Foo Fighters, Tool, Rancid, Code Orange, Pantera, Jesus Piece, Turnstile, Green Day, and over 90 plus more bands.
What?
Aftershock, a bunch of those same bands are playing, minus, I think, Code Orange and Jesus Piece. But, man, if we weren't at the Cold as Life reunion, I'm telling you, we'd be at Aftershock.
Yeah.
But we'll be at the Cold as Life reunion. Back to the episode. I heard
But-
Ridge fucks with the lore. Is that true?
Yeah. Heavy.
He loves him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, no joke.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
Like he fucks with God like that.
Yeah, if you don't fuck around with that shit. Him and Josh
Damn.
from Last Question too.
Wow.
Yeah,
So he'd
like
be
they-
pissed
like-
if I was like, "Damn, you fuck with God." He'd be like, "Yo, don't say that."
No, he'd be like, "Fuck yeah, fuck with God." Right? What? He'd be like, "Fuck yeah,
That's-
fuck with God." You don't. That's what he'd say.
You fuck with God is the funniest
Yeah,
way
yeah.
to.
hey, you fuck with God?
Damn.
Yeah.
He's
And
so
yet he's
he's
able
such
to-
an enigma.
He's able to draw a revolver inside someone's mouth.
Oh yeah, that was
You know.
that was. I sent him like a picture. I had it on my phone. It was like, I'll send you this. Never mind. I'm not gonna send it to you. But the picture that I originally sent him looked like shit. It was so bad. And I was like, I know he's gonna be mad when I send this to him because he's gonna be like, "What the fuck do you want me to do with this?" But I wanted it to be the artwork so bad. So then I
How
sent
did he
it.
do that?
Dude, do you know the picture where it comes from or no?
No.
Me neither, honestly. I just found it online one day. I was hoping you were gonna tell me because I don't know where.
No,
it's from,
dude.
but he fucked with it like a lot. Like I don't even know if you'd really recognize the original picture at this point because he added so much shit to it. But
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
One of the
Neither.
single arts looks like Chris.
no, it looks like this dude from fucking. It looks like a character from that movie Hook with
The
Robin
crying
Williams.
one?
Yes, it looks like the guy that they stuff in the box on the pirate
The boo
ship.
box, dude. That's Glenn Close.
That is Glenn Close.
That's Glenn Close.
It's a cameo.
It dressed up as a man.
It is. That's exactly
Yeah.
who I'm talking about. It's
In the
that
boo
scene.
box.
It looks like that. I just ruined that. I just ruined that single art for anyone who's seen Hook. Never
Was that intentional? Because I know
Oh.
Christopher's a big Hook guy.
No, he is. No, but Ridge. That's a picture of that's Ridge, and like one of his homies from St. Mary's County, and he like combines their faces together. Yeah.
That's incredible.
He's crazy, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
man, what a gift you have having him in your band just for
Yeah, dude, we didn't even think about it like that. And it's just funny how everyone just clicked together, not
Yeah.
really knowing one another, and everyone's different too. Like none of us are the same. But
who's the
we all
craziest
fucking-
guy in this band full of crazy guys? Like actually crazy, not like
Yeah, I
yo,
know.
he's scary, but like where you talk
I-
to him and you're like, yo, you're a little insane. You know?
It's I feel like differently, it's all of us. Like
Yeah.
Nick is
Yeah.
a sweetheart. You know,
Nick is a
he's
his name is Killa.
Yeah, his name's Killa. So I mean that's him.
Yeah.
Nick Barker, the drummer, he's a crazy guy too. He's
He's a good drummer.
He's so good at drums, and like he's a crazy guy. I don't know. I would say
Zach's the angel, right?
Zach is he's pretty crazy too. But yeah, he's sweet. I don't know, man. It's hard to like describe. I don't know. It's hard to put into words. But I guess I would
Ridge
say
is
that
probably the kookiest, right?
Ridge is definitely like the most character, you know? Like
Yeah.
he's one of a kind. He reminds me of the dude from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I always forget his fucking name, the tall guy.
Colin Mockery?
No,
Or
Ryan
the other,
Stiles.
Ryan Stiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan Stiles. He is Ryan Stiles. Like when Ryan Stiles dies, they should hit Ridge up to take his spot. Straight up. It would work.
That's awesome.
Who's it in God's Hate?
The craziest guy?
Yeah. It's kind of secretly Alec.
It's secretly Alec.
Yeah.
He has actual PTSD from war.
War. Yeah.
So yeah.
I forgot. I don't really know him that well, but I did hear that he like served. That's fucking
Yeah, he was in Afghanistan. That's why he don't have no knees anymore, you know? He blew him out moshing to carry on in the barracks. Legend.
Yeah.
He's a legend. Man, was there a European country or city that you played on that tour you did?
Did you just call me Matt?
No, I said man.
I thought you said Matt.
So Matt, when you toured Europe, was there a city that like blew you away how good it was that you made you think like, holy shit, my New York hardcore band just had an insane reaction in Slovakia?
Warsaw, Poland.
Ooh.
Like all the Rotel dudes and all them.
They mosh hard.
Dude, the Rattel Prez fucking broke his arm, like
Whoa.
moshing during acting
On
up.
purpose?
Like he was just moshing really hard and just to acting up too. It was a brand new track. And
Yeah.
he was just fucking popping off. He's an older dude too, so
He is the one who I witnessed do the gnarliest mosh maneuver I've ever seen.
What was it?
Where mid spin took somebody's glasses off and smoked them, crushed them, and kept moshing.
So sick. Yeah, he's one of a kind. Those dudes are like so crazy, like how far away people could be, but like
They get it.
yeah, like fully
We're the same.
understand it. Fully understand it. And the show was like scary. Like I know Body was in the pit for the pot set, and afterwards he was like, dude, Body's a hard mosher too.
Yeah,
So,
he is big time.
And he was like
Prolific.
Dude, that show was fucked up. Like that was crazy.
Wow.
I know you've traveled a lot, met a bunch of people just because of the kind of the nature of what hardcore is, you know,
Yeah.
and having brothers who travel a lot. You've met a bunch of people. Have you been to Japan before?
No, I'm going Friday though. I'm leaving.
That's
Friday.
why I bring it up. The guys over there who get it, it's unbelievable. It's gonna be your most favorite place.
I know. I've been told that so many times. I'm just dreading like I'm not a huge like plane guy or traveling guy, so that's literally the only part. But I know the second I get there, I'm gonna be so psyched.
Dude, you just watched The Departed like 6 times. You'll be
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up.
And then that was the only place I wasn't ready to leave. So I imagine you'll be.
Yeah.
Wait,
same.
you weren't ready to leave?
I was not ready to leave when the tour ended.
Damn, that's crazy.
And every other time I'm like, get me fucking home.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I keep my cool. I never let it really show too much.
Yeah.
But that's me, 100%.
I want to lay down, dude.
Yeah. I want to lay down and hang out with my cat and like.
Well, you have a cat. You love a cat,
dude. Yeah, dude.
You got a good cat though.
Yeah.
See,
dude,
that's the thing. I got a shitty one.
Oh, okay. So you're a cat.
Terrible cat.
Yeah, I
don't
cats,
believe
man.
in one side or the other. By the way,
Dude.
I have my 2 cats, but I love a good dog. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
I just like pets in general.
Yeah.
There's no
Same.
like. Whenever I talk about cats and someone is like, I like cats, but I like dogs too. It's like, yeah, no shit. I fucking like dogs too, bro.
I would love a good fish, you know?
Yeah,
dude, you're talking to the. Are you kidding me? I have.
Are you the fish king?
Dude, I have like 4 fish tanks. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Wow.
It's fucked.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I got so involved in that shit. It's so crazy.
You're a
Don't
fishman.
Don't even start.
I kind of just did.
Oh no, I'm saying
buying a fish.
Yeah, don't get it.
I won't do that.
Oh, don't. Yeah, I had some, and it's expensive.
Dude, it's so
fucking
awesome, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
They start eating each other. I don't know what I'd do in that scenario.
Yeah, they just
do that.
die
You gotta
too.
get the
They'll
right-
just.
You got to get the right ones.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, dude, I have like 4. No, I got 3 fish tanks. Tanks.
Yeah,
And
tanks.
3 tanks.
So you're a fish hobbyist.
Yes.
An enthusiast.
Yes.
What are the odds that I would bring that up?
I'm not super just like with anything else, like technical about it. Like I don't really know all the names of the
pH
fish.
balance and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, like you have to kind of get involved in that because then they die. So like,
Yeah.
so I do know a little bit about it.
Okay.
Like anytime I go on tour, I come home and the fish tanks are like literally as green as they could be. Because my brother Danny, he's a sweetheart. He tries his best, I'm sure. But
is he still playing music with anybody?
dude, my brother Danny is so good at writing songs. It's absolutely fucking insane. He's only been like his only active band like really was Backtrack, and like obviously he came into that. But he writes like he loves like Dag Nasty and like a lot of DC, like
really
DC, and he loves Ramones.
Hardcore punk.
Like he is the Ramones. Like you could ask him anything about the Ramones and he'll fucking know it. Like, and that's like from when he was 9 years old. Like him and my neighbor, they in the basement they had like a printout from like Microsoft Word of like 70 Ramones songs, and Sean would just point to one with the stick, and then they'd play it, and then just point to another and play it. Like for
And what the
years.
hell's he doing now?
Dude, he has a new thing that he has a lot of shit recorded, you know. And this one, I told him a million times. I was like, dude, you just got to fucking get some people together. I might try to, like, I kind of want to play drums for it,
Nice.
but I don't want to not give it.
God.
Yeah, but like I'm not a full-time drummer, and I almost feel like it deserves like a drummer, you know?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit him up about the Dag Nasty thing.
Oh, dude,
I want to sing, play guitar in a band like that so bad.
Really?
Just do it.
The reaction. Really?
No,
Really?
no, it's kind of rare. Honestly, I
love that shit.
some people,
love Can I
like,
Say.
really know of those bands. Those were like not even that I got into. Those were just the bands that I was shown first. You know, like that was like the bridge from like being into like Green Day and Blink-182, and then.
So even with Chris and Danny as your hardcore guides, you still were into Blink-182 and Green Day first?
Early though, I'm saying like literally like.
Oh, like 5,
like,
6.
Yeah, like 5, 6 years old. Like I loved all that shit, and then.
Well,
By the time I was 10, Christopher was in the band Vitalo, and then I understood the idea of like starting, which is hilarious. Yeah,
it's so
like
funny.
starting
so
a band, and I was like, oh shit, like I could actually just like start a band and like play a show. Like I don't have to figure out a way to like get to Jones Beach Amphitheater and like figure.
Yeah,
out
no, you just do it.
Like when I was younger, though, I was like, how the fuck do you even go about like young, like I'm saying, like 6 years old, like. Going to see bands at Jones Beach Amphitheater, like Newfound Glory and shit, and Green Day, and Blink-182, and fucking wondering like, how the fuck do you fucking even go about doing that? But
it's funny that like, I'm a few years older than you, Michael, and a few less older than you, Colin. But like, the Enema of the State came out when I was like 10, 5th grade, and I feel like that record probably affected. I think that is the answer for what we were talking about a while ago, Colin, of like which record impacted the most people.
It was over with in my kindergarten class for sure.
Yeah.
It was popping, dude.
It's hilarious.
No, for real though. For real.
I hated it.
And I get that, but like,
never liked it.
No, I was already rocking with Sepultura at that time, you know?
That's crazy.
I knew what I wanted.
He has the most backwards story out of. You have, I would say, a pretty classic story.
Yeah.
He has the most backwards.
Mine is weird, but I wanted immediately, you know?
Yeah.
And I got lucky.
Yeah.
That is fucking awesome. Because sometimes like I'll talk to people now and like I'll be you in art. Like they'll look at me and be like, dude, like you had it good. Because their first shows were like going to Warped Tour and just moshing for like Attack or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which
And
baffles me.
Yes.
How do you, which like, I'm glad to hear that they got here somehow.
I totally agree. That's not the conversation. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm
of course.
Still whatever.
But how did you get here from that?
What is the domino there?
It's crazy to like even go like, cause like I said, people will be like, oh yeah, like that's crazy. You just got straight into hardcore. I really didn't. I was in like listening to punk music. And Danny was listening to like Minor Threat and Dag and Descendants and like faster shit. And and then that was still like so out of reach. I felt like a show, you know, like going to like one of those types of shows. Like I've been to backyard shows and shit and some shit like that, like with Christopher and his bands. But then when Vitalo asked me to be in Backtrack, that was like the first like pit, like hard pit, like hard mosh pit, like everyone in the room with the same agenda, not like some people on the sides like skipping around, like not knowing what was going on. It was like everyone in the room was fucking moshing hard and like receiving and giving out beatings, and like no one was fighting. It was just what it was. And it was like, dude, the way I remember it, I remember being like on the computer with him, and he like pulled up a video of them either practicing somewhere or playing a show to like a very small amount of people.
Oh, is this Backtrack starting?
This is Backtrack starting. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
sorry.
And he was like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. Like, Vitalo wants me to play guitar. And I was like, oh, it's sick. And so the first show I saw with them,
pretty much the same for me was like Taylor being in a band that was playing shows, and it was like, I gotta go check this out.
So was
Yeah.
Taylor just already into like heavy ass shit? Is that how you got?
Yeah, so he's my guide through everything,
Yeah.
and he's a reluctant guide at that time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like what he found laying around, I would then find,
Yeah.
and he would share some things with me, but then also, you know, fuck you, get out of my room.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, you know, that at that age, like Sepultura and Linkin Park are the same thing.
Yeah, right.
So he's the guy who's going to tell you, like, no, they're not, idiot. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
And then you learn, like, okay, you're right. I'm an idiot, and these things are different. But then eventually we grow up, and they go, oh, you know what? Can you play this while I play this, and just so I can see how it sounds?
Yeah.
And then you're in the band.
Yeah.
Like, you know
That's
what?
fucking awesome.
You're pretty good.
Have you started a band with? Have you considered starting a band with the two of them?
Yeah, we've talked about it a bunch of times, like just like starting a random ass hardcore band and just seeing like what it was.
You got to call it Vitalo.
Bring back
God.
Vitalo.
Just bring it back.
Dude, bring it back again.
The reunion.
Yeah. Dude. Unreal fucking time period though. And
What
I
were the
remember
other
that
Long Island guys like as guides for you as a youngin? Because it seems like they embraced you very young. The Dan Seelys,
Dude.
the Vitalos, the Lopez's.
It's funny, like I don't want them to listen to it and be like, what are you talking about? But like I personally feel like I looked up to them immediately, all of them. You know what I mean? They were like the first show that I was going to, they were all like definitely looking out for me and shit. And I think this is a good thing. Like the way they treated me, in terms of the way they treated me. Like I personally don't feel like I was ever like handed anything too much. Like as a band, like in a band, it wasn't like, oh, let's just like I had to like sit on the sidelines just as much as like all the other young bands. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Which was cool, you know?
No, I wouldn't say that Hangman had any particular advantages or anything.
Exactly. So like sometimes people like when they first hear about it, they're like, oh, this kid's just probably got into it or like probably has it easy, you know, like didn't really have to do much to get. But I was like any other kid that was going to shows at the time, but they definitely always looked out for me, you know what I mean? And as I grew older, I was such a little dickhead when I was young. You know, like fucking just like 15 years old at a show, like getting wasted and just fucking being stupid. But I think like a lot of them saw me grow up a little bit, and it's just it's just a mutual respect there. You know
Of course.
But yeah, I love all those dudes. And you know, there's other people too that aren't even necessarily like so like Tommy from Silent Majority, the singer from Silent Majority. He grew up in Lindenhurst. And he was always like a key piece, like always looked up to him. I had another similar story where like I got left at a show, like I didn't have a ride home. And him and this dude, Rob, that was from Long Island, he passed away. But they both were like walking by the Chinese food spot. I was sitting outside, and they're like, "Oh, are you Chris's little brother?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "What? You need a ride home, or you just waiting out here?" I was like, "I'm just
you sitting here eating Chinese food, or what?"
Huh?
You just sitting here eating Chinese food?
Yeah. I was chilling at like no, it was just I actually asked the Chinese food place if I could chill in there because it was like kind of in a weird spot on Long Island, and it was in like a shopping mall, and the venue shut down. That was the only other thing open. It was probably like 11:30 at night or something. It was on like a weeknight. Yeah. And I was like fucking 14 years old. So, and they stopped and hung out with me like the whole night. And that guy, he's not the easiest guy to talk to. Like you know what I mean? It's not like he's just talking. So I always looked up to that. And like I brought that up recently when they were going through everything with Rich that passed away. Rest in peace, Rich. But yeah, like just that scenario and shit like that, just like a small act like that. It was like, yeah, like they could have just been like, oh, we don't fucking give a shit about the kid was fucking balanced, but like little things like that, and
that's how you nurture the young hardcore kids. You know,
yeah.
You just be nice.
Just be nice to these fuckers. They're here to. This could change. Every single sentence you say to like a 13, 14, 15-year-old hardcore kid could change their life or change their perspective or scare them away. Make them. This is the community.
That being said, if you do it, I feel I've seen it happen. Like, I feel like if you like right off the bat to start like giving them too much though, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
maybe booking them or like putting them on every show or something, or just
They
like
disappear in a
yeah,
year.
like they might like just think they're hot shit too quick and just fucking
You
leave
gave
it
them the cheat
down.
codes. They beat the game too damn real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is like a fine line there, I feel like. And I feel like all these dudes, like, I don't know if they knowingly did it, but I was always in that spot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I always, like, they never gave me too much and let me, like, figure it out on my own, I guess, you know?
Mm.
Which that feels good too, especially like now that I'm like throwing respect on it. Is like,
Absolutely.
you know, it feels good, obviously. So, yeah, I love all those dudes. John Banks is fucking man.
Oh, love him. Let me ask you this, Michael. If I asked you your Long Island music Mount Rushmore, your big four, Long Island.
Now, does that include the city? As you said, they're kind of one thing now.
No.
So strictly Long Island.
Long Island.
All right.
Ronkonkoma. Lindenhurst, etc.
All the others.
Backtrack.
They kind of like have to be, right? Automatic. Yeah.
Backtrack. Vision disorder.
Sleeper pick.
Dude, it's a hard fucking question because I feel like I'm gonna forget someone that's like important.
Yeah, but you know what?
Wait, how many faces are on Mount Rushmore?
12.
It's kind of like whatever comes to mind first is the answer. You know?
Yeah. All right. Backtrack, Vision disorder, King 9, Neglect, Sound Majority.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
How many faces though are on?
There's 4, but you know what? On Long Island, there's 5.
Yeah,
it's long as hell.
Long Island Mount Rushmore is
That's how it works. Tell me about your relationship with Lumpy and DAZE.
Yeah,
Because
you said Lumpy is kind of like a key role to the band existing.
He is.
Did he play in Hangman?
No, he wasn't in Hangman. I don't even think he liked Hangman that much.
Oh shit, he's lighting it up.
I lit it up before too.
In the house?
Yeah, it's
You're savage, dude. True pothead vibes.
Yeah, it's a nice setup too. You'd be surprised.
Is that just weed or is there other stuff in there?
Like what?
Dust.
I don't know. I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur in the field. That's why I want to learn.
Honestly, it's I put a little bit of tobacco in here. My mom's
You're one of those?
My mom's gonna be mad if she hears about it, but Europe completely fucking
Europe changed you.
Yeah, it fucked me up.
Really?
So I put a little bit in there.
Yeah.
You're a Sigmund now. You're Sigmund Freud, dude.
I never smoked cigarettes, and yet I'm putting fucking this shit. I hate this thing.
You love them.
I know.
What flavor is that?
Yeah.
Pink lemonade or something?
Mango sunrise?
Strawberry watermelon.
Oh.
Brutal, dude.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
That's right. That's hard men like strawberry watermelon too,
If you want to be honest, like a week ago and prior to that for like months, I was on one that was called Cuban cigar. And it was so fucking gross, but for some reason I liked it, dude. And then
you loved it.
I went to go get another one, and the guy said it was the same. And then when I started smoking, I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked at the flavor, and it said coffee tobacco, and I was like, "Ew, bro! Like, what the fuck?"
Cigars disgusting. Are impressive, honestly, because it's pretty impressive that some scientist somewhere like perfectly replicated the smell of poop, and people just suck on it all day.
I think cigars smell great.
I fucking
you love poop.
I don't catch a poop on it.
You're a scat man.
I hate cigarettes too.
Yeah,
they're the worst, dude. But they look badass.
I know you say that, but they're just such a deal breaker for me. If I catch a whiff of cigarette on someone, it's like an immediate
I'm looking at a cool guy in a leather jacket ripping a cig. I'm like, I want to interview him.
You're in
love. So Michael,
with
if you could rip a cig real quick for me.
I'll smoke a cigarette every once in a while. Honestly, it's bad.
Like when you've been drinking. Oh no, you don't drink.
No, I don't drink anymore. Honestly, yeah, these came in after I stopped drinking, so it probably has something to fucking do with it.
You needed a vice.
Yeah, some sort
Vice
of
City, baby.
Fucked up.
So yeah, where does Lumpy?
So Lumpy.
How does he come into the picture?
I mean, I've known Lumpy for like a pretty long time. When like we played shows together when I was in Stand Your Ground. I couldn't trying to think of the band that he was probably Brookside, I think it was called. Hard ass band, honestly.
Really?
Brookside, dude.
Yeah, Brookside.
It's a gadget store in the mall.
Yeah.
I love it.
But the online, the store, it's the Brooks.
right.
So like, yeah, we used to play a lot of shows. He would just beat fucking ass when we were younger with no regard.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't give a fuck how old anyone was. Like he would just beat ass. So I would always just stay away from him in pit, and like he was always funny. So we were always pretty tight, meeting up at shows. And then as we got older, he was in King 9, obviously, and always stuck around. Fucking, I don't even know, man. I just knew that he would like the style of the music when I recorded it. That's why I sent it to him.
And DAZE was already a thing, or was it just his CD archive
he was
at the
posting
time?
like, yeah, he was just posting like videos on there of like old school shit. I think he put Queensway out on vinyl.
Yeah.
And that was that was the first thing that he did. And when I hit him up, it wasn't with the intentions of him like really putting it out, because he wasn't really doing that. Like he kind of, I think he just did the Queensway thing as like something to do. And then, like I said, he was hitting me up. He hit me up about it like a month after I originally sent it to him. It was like, "Oh, you're gonna like do something with this, or like you should sing on it, blah blah blah." And
he's he produced the band. He's the manager.
He hyped me up on it too, because I wasn't like, I didn't see the bigger. He was like, "Dude, this could be like the biggest fucking." You know, like, you know, but
and then you fucking co-headlined every American festival with 7 songs out.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
So thank you, Lumpy, for seeing the vision there.
Lumpy is very, very smart, like in a wrestling term, smart. He's very like
he'll pull up to the gig in flip flops and like say the wisest.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was the reason why we did the 2 headliners. Like he might have been like the one that was like, "Nah, you should just headline this shit." Like I think
honestly,
you know, like because I feel like Billy Club was on the first day, and I was like, "Yo, Billy Club's gonna headline." And he was like, "Dude, honestly," like I feel like he was the one that was like, "Honestly, you should just you could just do it," you know. So
it's such a cool idea, and it shows like that is the bands underneath you, like nurturing Michael, the guy they've watched grow up, and being like, Michael's fucking band is gonna do this, and we're gonna help him do it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And that doesn't happen without the 10 plus years of grinding done before in other bands. And just, they see the guy they've seen in the pit their whole life telling them like, "Hey, I'm doing this now. So help me."
Yeah.
And they go, "Okay." That's hardcore.
Yeah, dude.
That's why we're here. Pass the torch.
Fuck yeah.
I love a torch. Let me ask you an important question, Michael.
All right, let's hear it.
How many McNuggets do you think you could eat in one sitting?
Dude, honestly, I don't really love McDonald's. I knew the conversation was going to come up.
Thank you so much for watching.
This has been great.
No, I mean, I've had my years of eating McDonald's. I stopped kind of recent, like, you know, after I stopped.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
It's crazy that you guys don't drink, but you eat McDonald's, honestly. Because the second I stopped drinking, I was like, dude, I can't believe I was eating this. Like, it's
no. You're going to the wrong locations, is what it is. That's operator error. That's what
you gotta bring that shit back right now. Go.
My order was 2 McDoubles with mac sauce on it. And I would get a McChicken, and sometimes I'd like get an extra McDouble and smash them together, make one of the McChicken things.
That's a good order.
And I could smash a 20-piece. I've done it. So
I'd for sure,
probably the most I could eat until I start throwing up, probably be like 40.
Yeah. See, a reasonable man.
Sad.
All right.
I'm sad. I'm sad.
You're sad?
You know, you could do better. I think
I could eat 20 Gordita Crunches from Taco Bell.
See, that's about 100 nuggets right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
cheesy Gordita Crunch. That's a heavy item.
That is a heavy item.
It's so.
That's 2 shells.
Though. I know. It's so good.
Taco Bell. That's your vice.
That's my go-to.
Is that the one?
That one's stuck around. So.
Are there any
vegans in Pain of Truth or vegetarians?
No.
Are there any fast food spots that you veto, that you just won't do? Because like you said, you stopped eating McDonald's, but it's not like if that's the only thing open, you would eat.
No, yeah, like when we were in Europe, we were eating
Yeah.
McDonald's and shit.
Because that's the only fucking thing open.
Yeah,
You have to.
But like when I get home, I really don't. I
Yeah.
haven't been there since. But I don't know. I guess Whataburger fucking sucks.
The South, they're coming for you now,
Like,
buddy.
that's
It's
just
mid.
like-
I mean, it's a mid-tier fast food burger, 100%.
It's not better than Wendy's.
It has no business being in the conversation as.
Yeah.
I could talk about this all fucking day, man, Michael. You've opened a real can of worms.
It's so funny that you guys love fast food so much. It's awesome.
Let me ask you
Well, I
this,
mean-
Michael. This is a very important question.
Yeah.
How many McNuggets do you think I could eat in one sitting?
I guess like if you brought up 100.
No, 200.
He thinks he could do 200. It's 7.5 pounds of food.
Easy.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy in like saying I can fly when I want to.
What
Because
if
it's
you-
just not possible.
What if you die from the experience of trying to reach that goal?
Can happen.
Then it wasn't easy, but I did it, you know?
No.
This would be a crazy way to go out.
That's how that works.
Well, because so in Cool Hand Luke, he eats 50 eggs, right? 50 hard-boiled eggs.
Sure.
And then there's an infamous story about how Marlon Brando was like a crazy eater amongst many other vices. But he was like, he had a crazy appetite. And at like an Oscars party or something, challenged Paul Newman,
Right.
who wouldn't do it. Paul Newman, who wouldn't do it,
He ate
called him a
51.
coward, and he ate 51.
I just brought it up to see if you believe. That was just a test to see if you believed in me. And you
You
said
said
you don't.
200, right?
Yeah.
I believe in you. I just
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you know,
It's
to
250.
some.
So that's 5.5 pounds.
Okay.
What was the most you ever eaten so far?
In one sitting?
Yeah.
Like 80.
But that's not true because
But
you
that's
said
not
they were
with a
hours
gun to my
apart.
dog's head, which is the other part of this scenario.
It was also hours apart. What is the most you've ever eaten?
No, recently after that, I did 80
That's hilarious.
You did 80. Okay.
for recreation without a gun to my dog's head. You factor in the gun, I'm going 800.
The first time I ever ate Chipotle, for some reason, the very first time, I had 3 tacos and a burrito.
You just couldn't believe it.
And there's no way I could do that again. Now I can barely finish a burrito from there.
You love Chipotle, Michael?
Nah.
My man.
Yeah.
What do you eat at home? Pizza?
You want to know why I hate Chipotle the most?
Absolutely.
Why? E. coli.
I gotta throw respect on this place too. Anyway, so
Ruby Soho?
no. I mean that place is awesome too, but no, me and all my brothers worked at this Chinese food spot down the block from my house as busboys, like one by one. Like Eddie worked there as a busboy, Christopher worked there as a busboy,
That's
Danny
so
worked
good.
there as a busboy, and then I worked there as a busboy. And
There was always a Smith.
dude, bomb ass Chinese food. Like ask Scanlon. Like Scanlon knew about it. Like people caught on, and then I don't know what they had going on. It was kind of sketchy. Like however they were open. Like I don't really know what was exactly good with it, but they closed down like super out of nowhere. And then a fucking Chipotle bought it and like didn't even keep the building. Like the building it was so fucking dope. And they just fucking cleared out. And the next day there it felt like there was just like a fucking Chipotle there. That just sealed
So
the
it's
deal.
personal.
I already hated it. But one, I had to bring up Tangs because it's legendary.
Yeah.
And two, fuck Chipotle. Place.
So it's on site with Chipotle, is what you're
It's on
saying.
site with Chipotle.
So that's the answer then. That's the one you would veto.
Honestly, yes. Except for
In a
when they were
roundabout.
giving everyone free food. They remember
was
that time
dope.
period.
Yeah.
Like you
This
could
was a
just
magical
call up
time.
and just like you just pick the guy in the band that could like speak the best. Which
It was
Yeah,
always-
hello,
it-
I'm
obviously
Dave,
never me. But
Jim.
It was
Yeah.
me. It was me.
It was you?
Yeah. Because
yeah.
I had fucking telemarketing jobs. So I was always on the phone. I had a voice.
Harold from Koyo would do it for Hangman. He would always
Wow.
be the one. He'd like get like ready for it and be like, "All right, I'm gonna call."
I represent
Yeah, everybody
a band
shut
called-
up.
yeah, exactly like that. Yeah.
When you said Hangman, were they ever like, oh?
Oh, we would lie.
Yeah,
we would
I
lie
know.
about our name.
Oh, okay.
We were never harm's way.
Yeah, we were throwdown, and occasionally it bites you in the ass, and a guy goes, I ain't seen y'all in a while, man. Y'all look different, man. And you go, yeah? Remember, lineup changes, you know?
You know how it is.
Long Island's a kind of a spooky place historically, Michael.
Yeah, a little bit.
Y'all got Amityville there. That's one.
Yeah.
Amityville. I was listing off ones earlier.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
That's a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see a ghost? Ooh, I feel something coming.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I don't want
It's easy.
to. Maybe because
That's a good answer. That's a fair answer, I
don't
think.
completely believe in like visual ghosts. Like,
But you've seen something you can't explain.
Yes. Yeah. You know, whether it was real or if I was just like turning my head too quick and saw something, I don't fucking know. But
Share. Let
Do you
me
care
hear
to
it.
share?
oh, you want to hear the story?
I want to hear about it. It's almost October, man.
Yeah, we're gearing up.
Dude, if you want me to be honest, I don't know if it was my vertigo because I have pretty bad vertigo.
It wasn't your vertigo.
But
Couldn't have possibly been your vertigo.
This happened like literally, like it could have been this morning or yesterday, and I was washing my hands in the sink, and it looked like there was a bunch of like gray hair like floating like to my right. And this is like during the day. It wasn't at night or something where it was like pitch black. Like it was like during the day, and like it was just like a fucking ball of floating gray hair, it seemed.
Mhm.
And it was like spread apart, like pretty long.
Mhm.
And I quick turned, and obviously it wasn't there, but I felt weird after it. And
You had the CBGBs.
yeah, and like I don't the house that I'm in like is like it was like there was weird people there before. So like I don't know exactly what they're into. So
It's
yeah.
like what's that? The Grudge, Ju-on, the fucking
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
This is the first time somebody's had a story about where the person wasn't tired.
That's
What are you talking
well.
about?
So a common thread amongst all ghost stories that we've ever come across. As a matter of fact, someone who I talked about this to a couple days ago. It was a nighttime thing.
It's like when they wake up or something.
It's always around sleep, and it's like, yo, when we're falling asleep, you think of crazy shit every single night. That happens
sure.
all the time. So
Or
or
our
you're
mind
getting
is open to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
To
dude.
the
I mean,
dimensions.
you're on my. That's my shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look,
Yeah.
it's like I said, there's Wi-Fi around us all the time.
No.
Radio waves, all kind. No. What I'm saying is we don't know how to perceive it yet. So maybe there's
No, I know how to perceive it. It's Wi-Fi. That's how we make this happen.
No.
The gray hair, that's something else.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Wait, were you on the dream thing before though? Like saying like different like dimensions and shit? Is that where you?
Oh,
were
that's
some shit?
that's a whole other conversation, brother.
Yeah.
What are dreams?
Huh, dude?
What are they?
I was just gonna say they're gonna kill me if I say this on the recording. No, I'm fucking
Them?
Yeah, them. No, but like it's crazy to me. I just can't believe that. Like, think about how crazy dreams are. They happen
Yeah.
roughly like you could say every night for some people.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been dreaming
Happens
all the time.
Happens to some people every day. Some other people every once in a while. Still have reoccurring serious shit happening in there.
Yeah.
And then like they just tell you, yeah, you're just dreaming. Like it's just dreaming. It's like
In the dream?
no, I'm just saying
No,
in
just
general.
like-
They just call
yeah.
it dreaming. Like they're fucking making it lighter than what it is.
Oh, them. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
for sure.
Them,
They'd be
bro.
doing that.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
I've been
do
having
that.
I take this supplement, the one I gave you in England, Colin, where when you did sleep a ton.
I
That
slept
ZM
good that night.
that ZMA shit, it gives you really, really
What
crazy
is it?
dreams. ZMA, it's zinc, magnesium, and something that starts with an A.
I don't think you need that, Bo.
No, I definitely don't, but I do take it anyway.
Why did it make you knock out, Colin?
No,
Yeah, it
he
just-
sleeps for 23 hours a day.
It makes you
Did it make
sleep.
pass out when you took it?
No, so what it does is when you fall asleep, it keeps you asleep.
Oh.
It doesn't hit like a Benadryl or something, but
It
once you
took me,
do,
I still fell asleep at like 4 a.m. UK time, but I woke up at like noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is poignant for the date that we're recording this. The most recent intense dream I had, I was on a plane as it crashed into the World Trade Center.
Oh shit!
What the fuck, dude?
It was so intense that I woke myself up by yelping. I was like, "Ugh!" And I woke up in my bed.
Before. That's crazy, dude.
Fucking so intense. I remember literally like, buckle up, like people screaming, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That brings up a good question for my.
Yeah, where were you? Yeah.
Where were you on September 11th?
I was I think I was in second grade. I was in class.
You were right there.
Yeah, I was fucking close, dude. I brought someone home with me, like one of my childhood friends, like came back with me because his dad was NYPD.
Oh,
holy
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he was freaking out,
Yeah.
And I mean, we were young, but I think if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure my mom just told me exactly what was happening immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of
I was in eighth grade.
Kind of lady. I think she was just like, "Yo, this is fucked up." Like, and she couldn't call my dad. I don't think, and like he does work in the city all the time. She didn't know where the fuck he was. So I remember it being like pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean, like, but even being young and like I
100%.
didn't grasp fully, but I did understand like
Who told you? Your mom told you? Because we were in class. I'm on the same time zone as you.
Yes.
I remember being in school.
Oh,
so was I.
At this time.
Yeah. I was in school, and they sat us. We like all had to get back in our seats. And from what I remember, my teacher said that some of us were probably going to be going home, and that there was like an emergency. But anyone who's staying, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I remember going to my house and the TV was on. Like,
dude.
You know,
that TV, CNN was on in my house for fucking 4 weeks.
Yeah, dude.
Nonstop.
Yeah, it was fucked up. I mean,
I was in Miss Cresho's 8th grade English class, and they put it on the fucking TV.
Damn, you're
and
old
we
as hell.
saw the second plane hit, and then and then the towers fall.
Right.
Watched it happen. I remember when that English class let out. None of us went home or anything. In the changing period in the hallway, I screamed at the top of my lungs, "We're all gonna die," because I didn't realize what was happening. Like you said, I didn't really.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh, like surely everyone was out of the building if they knew if it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know.
Were you joking?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I thought
everyone was like screaming.
But you were
shit.
scared of like Blair Witch and stuff. I figured maybe you were like, oh my god.
This was too abstract, and it wasn't until I got home. I grew up not too far from O'Hare, and there were no airplanes in the sky, and that was weird.
Yeah.
And then we have the tallest building in the city or in the country at that point.
That's what Chicago. I remember the fear being based around. It's like, who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Sure. Exactly. And it was that was scary. I remember that was like, oh, this can happen. This is a thing now that can.
I mean, it was
happen.
Fucked up for us too. I remember like, because we were just on an island, and like, if you wanted to get off the island, you pretty much had to pass the Twin Towers. Like if you were going to the city, like you'd usually see the Twin Towers if you were driving past the city. So like, and just the fact that like the island's it wasn't built for as many people that are like actually here now. So, and even then, so like, if something bad happens, like in general, and people have to leave, like it would be fucked. Like, and it was fucked that day. Like just trying to traffic and just trying to like.
Long Island has
travel.
The worst traffic I've ever been on.
Yeah, the roads aren't designed for as many people as like that are here. You know, like they were built so long ago. Even like a lot of the parkways and shit, like they're just like the off ramps and shit are like. They feel like they're like 5 feet long. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just not.
You can't take a trailer.
And you can't drive a van on them for some reason.
Yeah.
Like
certain ones you can't. Yeah. It's fucking
brutal.
Well, you know, it's because the fucking bridges they built mad long ago. I'm pretty sure a lot of it is because some of the overpasses are so low. Like it would just take the top off. It happens. You'll be driving, like see like a fucking tractor trailer with like the top of it clean off because it tried to go on a parkway and like try to go on the bridge.
Jesus Christ.
So that's why.
Do you guys remember flying at all before September 11th? You're younger, so I don't know if you remember flying.
I do remember.
Like how different it was.
It was so easy.
Dude, yeah, for sure. I mean, Yeah, back then, I mean, before that, I would have never even. I thought flying was fucking dope. I loved like going to Florida and seeing my grandparents and shit.
Mm,
Like, wouldn't even think twice about getting on an airplane. You know what I mean?
mm-mm,
But
mm-mm.
after that, I mean, it was just like that's just the world that we grew up in. After that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, there was
Yeah.
like, there's literally like a hard line change like after that day. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's just
I,
embedded in everyone's fucking
Worldwide,
brains.
really.
You know what
dude,
I mean?
it's a joke in The Office, but like our whole generation had to process this. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, it's
thing.
fucked. And like,
you know,
no matter what age you were, like there's like really bad parts of it. Being young, like that young and being exposed to that is
Yeah.
probably crazy. Being an eighth grader and being exposed
Yeah.
to that is crazy. You're
And
going
then,
through crazy shit,
dude,
already.
I mean, we
And
talked about this another time, but then when we invaded Afghanistan, that was the same year I had to sign up for the draft. So
Oh,
that's
shit,
like
that's
that's
crazy.
lingering on my mind too, where it's like, if this gets out of control, I'm going to war. Like it was very
Yeah,
intense, and it all started with this shit. It was fucking wild.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Wow.
In New York, I imagine it. I was only 2 hours from New York, but I wasn't there. The way that it united people was a crazy thing to remember.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck yeah, the
It's
flags
crazy,
on
too,
cars,
because
dude.
like you fucking roll around New York now. I mean, it's like it's so fucking like people like yeah, like people treat each other like shit. You know what I mean? Like people really fucking. I mean, that's everywhere. That's
Yeah.
fucking everywhere. And then something like that, it takes something like that to like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Which is fucked, but that's just
Yeah, it is.
That's just the way shit is.
I mean,
Miss the
dude,
old
the,
New
the
York.
fucking
You
the
know what I mean?
flags,
Think
flags
about it.
on cars.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
dad
it's
had them. Like everybody had them.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, it's
fucking.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
let's go back to Pain of Truth a little bit. That's enough 9/11. for
Enough
today, I
9/11.
think. Who was the first feature that you asked?
Martin from Billy Club, actually.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I asked him, and then he did that track, and then Josh Light's Question was just like at my house during COVID. He like just drove from Philly, even though we all thought we were gonna die. We were just like joking about it too. We were just like, this is crazy. Like we just didn't know how serious it was yet, but we were just
Had
like,
no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
he-
halted the God's Hate record completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he just like drove up from Philly anyway and just like hung out with us all summer. And we just woke up and I was finishing recording it and I was like, oh, you want to come with me? And he was like so hungover and he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, do this fucking part really quick and see if it sounds good. So then that was 2 out of 4 songs. And I don't know
Right.
if I just have like, is it OCD, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking at the songs and it just being like, not just one, now it's like 2. For some
Yeah.
reason in my head, I was like, I can't not. I have to get.
Got to do them all.
I gotta just do them all. And Sealy was actually the last one to do it, I think.
Mm.
But yeah,
I really
I
like.
think it was Martin.
I like Steve's the 200 stab wounds one on the new one.
Fuck yeah.
I think that
Love that
part
one.
is awesome, and I think I want to talk to you about the TUI the Justice one
Mhm.
because there's a lot going on with that.
He put his
Yeah.
whole ass into that one.
Yeah, there's like layers. There's like a talking part.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. It's crazy because when I wrote the lyrics for it and like first heard it all laid out, I was like, yo, like it sounded good with me on it. Like it sounded cool, but I just could not stop hearing Justice's voice. Like when I'd hear it, I was just like, yo, him on it it just sounded like a lost TUI track or something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and the way he sings and shit, I was like, yeah, with his voice on there, it just sounds so fucking perfect.
And he really did the TUI voice.
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
He did. He fucking brought it back, and he sounds like a little bit older, and it's cool.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah. So
It's funny that it's like mostly kind of a positive song, you know,
a little bit.
in a way that's like, hey man, oh yeah, come on,
Yeah,
I don't know.
come on. And
it's-
then it goes pit to pit at the end,
Yeah,
violently,
yeah, yeah.
abruptly.
violently. Yeah,
yeah.
Love
I
that.
mean, I wrote that shit about fucking just like losing losing people over drugs and shit, and just seeing people fucking get into that shit. But there is
Of
like
course.
positive side to it.
There is, because it's like, hey man,
Yeah.
I'll help you. Just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of
course.
course. That's exactly.
let's go from the top. Let's look at this track list here. Lifeless on the Ground with Anthony
Yeah, and John too.
And
John.
John.
Yeah.
You were opening with this one for a while before the record came out.
Yeah, that was one that I wrote. I wrote that in the No Blame Just Facts like era. Like that was contender for the first track on that. So it was either The Test or Lifeless.
You held off for the LP, but
Wow.
I've been
Wow.
there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy that I ended up putting The Test out first, I think.
100%. And I think this is a perfect like LP opening track. 'Cause it has a big intro that really feels like the Pain of Truth intro.
Honestly, Lumpy didn't want that to be the intro. He wanted This Falls on You to be the intro, and I was just telling him, I was just like, that is a good intro too, but I couldn't picture this song in the middle. I was like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
there is a certain thing with writing that's kind of like it's first or it's out.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not very like musically inclined in some like, but when I like hear something, when I have it pictured in my head a certain way, it's like, dude, some things I'll budge on, some things I'll budge on and be like, oh, that, you know, like it's good to have another set of eyes on it. But that I was like, nah, it's gonna be the first track. It's got to be
track
one. Yeah,
love it. And if you know, it's worthy of an opening track. It has the big fucking on the ground mosh call is badass.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Track 2, In Your Heart with Scott Vogel.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's a big acquisition. He might be the guest spot king.
Yeah.
In all of hardcore.
Yeah.
And also kind of the trailblazers with that. Because like live, they would always have people
Their
doing
merch
parts,
guy
you know?
sang did the coolest guest spot, whoever it was. You know?
Yeah. So that's kind of a cool full circle thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about that. Tell me a little bit about that song. Putting that together, getting Scott.
That was, I just quit a job that was I was like selling. I'm not gonna say what it was because I don't want them to fucking hear it, but still like no people there. But I left and like they were just fucking bullshitting me, and I just knew it. So it was like a mixture of that and also like seeing through people in the scene too. So it was like a combination of both things like coming into my head as I was writing it, but it is like a hard, like mainly about just like whether or not fucking hardcore, like when you're into that shit, like, you know, from day one, like the second it's introduced to you, it clicks right away. It's not rare. I don't think it's super rare.
No.
And when you meet somebody, you know if it's actually in their heart.
So so like that's what it ended up. I did start the song by with the idea of it like being about like the shitty job that I was at, and about like them just trying to like teaching me a sales pitch and then bullshitting me and changing the words around and like the subject matter, but pretty much it's the same pitch that they're trying to sell me to get me to do some shit for them. And I'm like, dude, you just taught me this pitch fucking 15 minutes, not 15 minutes ago, but you just taught me this fucking 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Like you're using the same wording on me and the same like give and take, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? It's like, like, I don't need that shit. And
who better than to talk about what's in somebody's heart than Scott, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me? That's like, that was another piece of it too. I was trying to think of like that one. Me and him talked about him being on a track prior. So like when I heard that song, I was like, this just sounds like one with the Underdog song or something, you know, like for Vogel. And I think I kind of like started gearing it more towards like the hardcore, like halfway through the song, because that's when I realized Scott was probably going to be on that track, and I was like, I don't want to like make a song about my shitty job, like. You know what I mean? It, like you could listen to it and put it to that if that's
you can adapt that to anybody has that experience.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Absolutely.
So like the song could really like be put to anything that you got going on. But I did base it around hardcore by the end of it. You know,
of course.
Yeah.
Love
and
it.
Acting
up. We've talked about.
Was this the first single?
Yeah, Acting Up was the first one.
What's now listening to it with Stab Wounds Man over that part sounds like I can't picture anybody else there now just because of the vibe. The kind of like one syllable per kick drum type death metal performance. Perfect mixture. What made you want to get him on there?
Me and
to
him
bless him with this moment.
Yeah. Me, like us and them kind of, I want to say they came out either during the pandemic or maybe right before. But I know they started playing shows like I think during the pandemic. I remember seeing a video and I was like, dude, like I just thought they were sick right off the bat. And I thought it was cool that they were playing a show. And I think I might have hit them up like early on and just like threw respect on it. I was like, oh, this shit is dope. Like respect for just fucking going and playing a show. Like that's awesome. And then they came down to play our first show. So, and then anytime that we roll through, I think it's Pittsburgh. Anytime we're in Pittsburgh, they have like they're there, so they must live close. I don't really know exactly where.
They're in Ohio.
Ohio, yeah. So anytime we like play Pittsburgh, like they roll out, and we just have a cool relationship. You know, like two different styles of music, but like I know they're genuinely hardcore kids.
Yeah.
And there's certain bands like that click with me too. So like. That's just like
I mean that song fucking rocks. That was an amazing first single.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And I feel like it just like had the vibe too. Like when I first sang the chorus or the verse or whatever it is, this look motherfucker part. I wanted I wanted myself to sound like the way he did for it. You know what I mean? Like like that's usually how it comes about. And I think I'm like, oh, I wish I sounded like that. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know how to I just don't sound like that. So just to see if he's down to fucking do it, you know? Originally he sang like a little bit of the first time it comes in, like I had him in there a little bit, but we ended up taking it out. I
think it's perfect as like the build to it.
All right. Fair enough. That's what everyone
that.
Yeah. That's what everyone else, that's what Lumpy was said. That's what Lumpy was saying too.
You got to earn it. You earn it.
Yeah. It was just a little taste, though. It was just a little taste in the beginning. That's where I was coming from. I was
now it's the big moment.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, he's coming.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he came.
Yeah.
You and me, Pain of Truth and Madball. Wow.
That's your favorite. Fulfilled. You said it's your favorite. You hate all the other ones.
No, honestly. Well, you asked what my favorite like guest spot was, and it's just the fact that
it's the coolest one.
Like,
of course, like all of these people would say it's the coolest one.
Vogel
you know?
too. You know what I mean? Like,
this is it's an achievement as a New York thing. It's like it's a.
But
poetic.
Scott would say Freddie is the coolest one.
I was gonna bring it up before. There was a while where like when I was young and Madball would play, and then I'd see him after or something. You know, I'd be like, oh, it's like let's say what's up, real quick, say like good set or something. You know, and I walk up. And they didn't care like I was little or nothing. Like he, 2 or 3 guys like, whoa, like no, he's not like talking to people right now. You know, like he just played. You know what I mean? Kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So that it was like that. I never really like talked to him much. You know, and then played the Thompson I went to the Thompson Park show that was like during COVID.
Yeah.
And like we had a little moment there. After I moshed on the stage, and we talked a little bit after that set, and I think that's when he found out that I was like, oh, you know my brother Chris, like you guys went to Europe together. He was like, oh, dude, and the other one too, right? And I was like, yeah. So you remember Chris and Danny?
He got it.
And then we just like kind of started going back and forth. He learned more like once Pain Truth was like playing more shows and shit. I think he like caught wind of it. And then that's why we started. He hit me up about shows, like playing shows together, and that's it. Just like was organic, you know. It was sick because it just came kind of full circle.
Beautiful,
by the end of it.
Hardcore, best thing ever. Yeah. This falls on you with Shane Moran, Bad Seed,
back from the dead, dude.
He brought him back to life, dude.
I know, it's awesome.
Tell me about that.
Dude, I just thought the song. I wrote that track too on guitar. That was one of my songs too. And like right off the bat, right when I was writing it, like with the drums I had pictured in my head, I was just picturing like that. Like, I think it's Justice Deserved, like the Bad Seed track with like all the toms in the intro. Is that Justin Caesar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justice.
I was just picturing like the beginning having like crazy rolled out like toms or something, and I was like,
Mhm.
it's the way I pictured it in my head. I was like, kind of sound like Bad Seed track, like similar vibe. So that's why I just and
Might as
then
well.
yeah, it was fucking awesome. And me and him like when I was super young, they played Long Island. They were like, I could not believe Bad Seed when I was like
They
15.
were
Dude.
amazing.
I was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the name, the logo, the fact they were in title fight, but they were playing these hard ass songs, like
Yeah.
the whole thing to me, I was just like, whoa, like that's me. Like I love like soft shit like that, but then I like playing hard music, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I just thought that was so fucking sick. So, and he, we met when I was a young ass kid, and he's kind of like he was at a Hangman show in Wilkes-Barre, like small ass show. We like chopped it up there a little bit. And we always just kind of kept in touch, like, and I sent him the track, and he was like, dude, like, honestly, he was super psyched and grateful to be a part of it. Honestly, he was like, yeah,
Awesome.
like I love Pain Truth, honestly, and I've been, trying to kind of get back into it, and he appreciated me thinking about him. He was like, I was surprised. He was like, no one's ever asked me. And I was like, that's pretty fucking. I'm happy I did. That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
nobody asking him is crazy because
Yeah.
the mark that Bad Seed made in such a short span of time was pretty massive.
Yeah.
He sounds totally different too. It's
He
crazy.
does sound different.
Yeah.
He was a wee lad in Bad Seed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lad Seed.
Yeah. They're all young, right? They're all pretty
Yeah.
young.
Michael's headphones just died, so he's going to sound a little different, but you're going to bear with us. It's going to be fine.
Not too much longer.
Too Late featuring Justice Trapped in Your Ice.
Yep.
This was a Ridge track, pit to pit to pit at the end. Beautiful.
Let me ask you, Michael, when it came to Justice doing what he does on the track, did you just let him kind of run with it?
I mean,
Because it's very, it's very TUI. It's like very much his style.
I had he used all the same lyrics. I think we might have changed up he might have changed a couple of them up, like one or two, but I really didn't give him too much. I think like there was actually a lot of, I'm the worst dude with like texting, as you can imagine. I'm like the worst with like shit like that. So I think he like it might have been, there was a point where he was like, dude, I have no idea what you want me to do. Yeah, I sent him like timestamps and shit like in my own way, and he was probably like, dude, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? But so I don't even I really don't think I explained that well, and I like what I wanted, but honestly I think the way I pictured it is like the way it came out. Like I think he knew. He's a pretty talented dude. I feel like he knew like,
big time.
He knew what was good and like what he was gonna be doing,
Yeah.
So
when we did the one with me on it, you were very much like, here's my idea, but do your thing.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way it was with everybody?
Yeah. I do that. Like, I don't want to ask someone to do it and then be like, you have to sing my shit. If someone's like, yeah, I don't want to change this, I'm like, all right, do it up. I mean, if it sounds bad or like if like everybody's like, I like it the other way better, then maybe we would change it or something. But
sure,
for the most part, I let everyone.
Everybody killed it.
Yeah.
And picking at scraps in particular with Austin Sparkman and Jay.
Yeah.
That's a heater.
I'm trying to think how like Austin, I think like Austin was supposed to do a different song, but I think I sent a file for picking at scraps. I was supposed to send a different one. So like I sent him like all the lyrics, the same kind of thing. Like I sent him like timestamps and shit, and he was like, bro, these are not matching up at all. I'm so fucking confused. I'm pretty sure or something like that. So then he just sang like random parts on Picking at Scraps, and we were like, oh shit, like
because Picking at Scraps is very much like, Long Island, and New York and Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
And then Austin's like, guys, I live in Boston.
I know, it's hilarious. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's like that's what I'm saying. Though.
That's
like,
a perfectly.
Some people like just take it so fucking serious, you know, like we'd or maybe not take it serious, or think like we're taking it very like it's sick.
Right.
I love it. And that's exactly how I want it to
It's
end
perfect.
up.
But then you have Austin, who is like
That's what I'm saying. It's
a
just
talented musician and
oh
songwriter
fuck yeah,
who
that's
knew
what makes
exactly where
it
to
that's
put
what
it.
makes it even funnier. You know what I mean?
It's great.
It's like, and it's just dope, dude. Austin's been around for so fucking long. I always looked up to him.
100%.
He's a lifer for sure. And so it was like we could have just took his parts out and just had Jay just do the whole thing, but it was like, no, dude,
No, it's way cooler.
let's
Yeah,
just
awesome.
fucking leave it. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
because he didn't really do the parts that for that song I would have done the guest spots for. Like he did his own thing.
But it's awesome.
Yeah, like, and then I was like,
because different times are accentuated, and that's like top 3 tracks for me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Out of Our Hands, track 8, featuring the Movie Life Man.
Yeah,
that's a wild one.
That's
dude. I mean, I've had the movie life poster in my room for like since I was like 5 years old. So I fucking to me that like you know, I'm like, there's no difference from like Vinny to like Vogel in terms of like my perception of like how they influenced me. You know what I mean? Like
that would
even
be
though
like
it's
me.
2 like different things, like to me it was always the same shit. On Long Island in general, it's like the vibe here is like everything's kind of hardcore. So
right.
So
Dude,
to me,
would,
like I totally understand why someone would be like, "What the fuck? That's so crazy." But like, it really
does. He sound like that in the Movie Life?
Dude, he sounds like that. Yes, like live. That's when I realized. I was watching I'm the Avalanche, and I was like, "Dude, I love this dude. I've looked up to him for so long, and if you put a hard ass track behind him, it's gonna fucking sound dope. Like he's screaming.
Yeah, it sounds wild.
Yeah, like he's screaming. That's how he screams like live. You know, like he didn't really do anything like.
I had no idea.
So that was just like a cool kind of thing. I might be tripping, but besides Brandon from Incendiary, he's the only other Long Island guy. Which is
wow.
It's funny. It's funny to think you had that poster when you were 5 and he's singing on your song. By comparison, that would be like me having like Scottie Pippen on a Armstrong song or something. Like at 5, I had
it's actually like it's an Atticus poster. It has like Blink-182 on it.
Yeah,
the movie Life. Bane is on it.
Yep.
Wow.
American Nightmare. It's like
I remember. I remember it.
Honestly, like that too. Like that. Like I always fucking love that poster because it was like a bunch of bands in one thing.
Yeah.
Always love that.
Finally.
I literally always love it.
One poster, many bands.
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to bring them back.
One record, many bands.
One record, many bands.
Woo! We just that Atticus poster just unlocked the key to Pain of Truth. That's why you did it.
Dude, real recognizes real.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like the idea of it, like the song is so sick. Breakdown is so sick. But it's more so like the idea of the track and like the fact that all those dudes were like, yeah, let's all do this. Like even that gave me the idea to do that shit for Pain of Truth. And it's like, all right, let's do that, but just a whole fucking record instead of just one track.
That's what we did for the Valley Beyond. It was just got that, but Valley guys.
Yeah. So
that's the coolest. That's Tales old as time. It's a proven formula to be awesome.
Yeah.
Same old story. The only song with no track.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like an instrumental thing.
Yeah.
It's badass.
Yeah. Killa and Nick wrote that.
Killa and Nick?
Killa and Nick is the drummer. Nick Barker's the drummer.
Okay.
So yeah, it's Killa and Nick.
Killa Nick and Nick. Very nice.
Yeah,
you got Under My Skin with old Joby on there. The other guest spot, King.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude.
Always delivers.
Yeah, he's his voice is obviously super unique.
Iconic.
Always love Criminal Instincts, you know.
They're an era-defining band for sure.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Like that era of time is so sick, you know. And yeah, I was psyched he was fucking down to do it too. You know what I mean? I feel like the style fits like the song pretty well.
Big time.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he was born to sing in with a bunch of old guys in New York, you know.
Fuck yeah.
The fucking cabbie hat.
Yeah.
He got the voice of a band full of guys in the cabbie hat.
Fuck yeah.
Big old guitars up here.
But and
Hard
then
as fuck.
also coincidentally the voice of just a wonderful country singer.
True. You're right.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
You should only get to have one. It ain't fair. Title track, Not Through Blood, featuring Brendan and the homie from Last Wishes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's like, you know what, the title track that represents our whole band? Let's get a British guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was like last minute too. I think I showed him they were here and I already had like the roughs or something. I just showed him the whole thing. And he was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. And I was like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, be awesome if you were just on it, you know? And we were trying to find a spot where he could be. And that bass line part was just like empty.
Yeah.
I wanted to like say something there, but I was like,
Yeah, that's funny because that part within the context of the record, I would have assumed you always had someone talking over that break. Yeah.
Yeah, like in that break. Yeah, I was gonna like end up recording something for it, but I didn't really know what to do with it when we were at the studio. So we ended up just leaving it. And I was like, oh, we'll just have someone, whoever is on the song. But like Brandon, like we were trying to talk shit into the mic and it was just, we were both just laughing. Me and Brandon from Insignere.
You and Brandon from Insignere?
What was that?
you and Brandon from Insignere?
Yeah. We were just cracking up, like talking shit into the mic. And it was funny, but we couldn't like use half of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, and then Corn wanted to do it. And I was like, honestly, you talk shit really well.
Yeah, he says cunt in like the first word. That's the hardest thing ever.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like he sent it to me. I was like, whoa.
That's a different thing here.
Yeah.
But overall,
yeah.
This is like the kind of hardcore that I like, you know?
Fuck yeah.
Like to a T. This is me.
Yeah.
As a band. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that people want this and people want to do this. You know,
And
there's been so
boy,
many
do they.
dark times, Michael.
Yeah.
So there were dark times.
Melodic
and I think we're out
times.
of it.
Oh yeah.
And I, you know, younger people, Nick is fucking in his mid-20s and he's writing these riffs.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more Nicks out there. There's going to be more Michael Smiths out there.
For sure.
There's,
that's what I was saying before. It's not a rare thing, you know?
it's a beautiful thing.
It's not for everyone, but it's not rare, you know?
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's the Ratatouille formula again. You know?
What's
And
that?
not anyone can cook,
Yeah.
but a great cook can come from anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Hardcore is Ratatouille at the end of the day, always. Everything is Ratatouille.
Got you.
Every art. Not Through Blood, 2023. The hardest record in quite some time. I feel like this is a good place to kind of wind things down.
Yeah. You got any send off? Any final words?
Anything you want to leave the people with today?
No, not really. But thanks to you guys for having me on here and asking about it and talking about it. I appreciate the love. You guys.
Yeah.
No, it's well deserved. It's earned.
Yeah.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I was going to say it felt deserved because we did the mini really early on. That was like the first of the minis, like when we were doing them.
Yeah.
That was our second trip, I think, that we ever did.
Yeah, it was in Boston, right?
And it was in Boston. It was just felt like we didn't really get into enough, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
The
glad we
nutshell
got,
of Michael.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you guys putting
Of course.
on, you know.
I feel like you're retiring my song now, right? So it's gone.
No,
It's out.
No.
It's around?
Fuck yeah.
You got so many songs now. You don't need to play that one anymore.
Dude, people love that track, man. Not
Why
just
didn't you
saying
put it
that
on
because
here?
we're talking to you. We fucking on the record.
Oh, is it on the is it hidden?
No, but that would have been fucking sick.
You told me you were doing that.
I
That
know,
didn't happen.
I don't know.
You were too high, dude. You were smoking them marijuana cigarettes. You
I
forgot
know.
to put it on.
No, I didn't forget, dude. Everyone was just they were like, yeah, I think it's cool that we have like the demo release, whatever you want to call it, like first EP, a split, a comp song.
Yeah,
But like,
it is cool. And now you got a bullet in the chamber for LP2.
I was just gonna say that too. We could always re-record it and just
That's
make it sound
Look
way
at
better.
that, dude. Declination is like half demo song.
Yeah.
So you never know. Just do whatever.
Fuck
I
yeah.
love that song. I was
No, dude,
honored to be part of it.
Whenever we play that song, people fucking like flip the fuck out on it. So yeah, those people, everyone's singing the words and shit to that one, probably like second most to like
Wow.
the Test and Pain Truth. Like a lot of people sing along to it.
I love it. And doing that was like, okay, I should start singing again.
That's
Ah.
sick, dude.
So you
Fuck yeah.
you did that.
That's awesome. Dude.
How
You
let me
fucking
ask
killed it
you,
too, so.
when
Thanks,
when
man.
it comes to the other guest spots that you've had, has anyone done theirs more than Colin has done his?
I would imagine so.
Celia does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
most of
He
the time
lives
it's
there.
there. I gotta throw respect on my man Tyler Anderson from Long Island, because we were playing hockey one day and I showed him Snake in Disguise. It was like I think it was just me on it, and I just had that spot blank. And he was like, "Oh, dude, this song's crazy." He's like, "Dude, you should try to sing there. Like, so like you should, you should try to sing or get someone to sing there." And I was like, "Yeah, true. Like, it would be cool if someone like sang on it." And first person he said, he was like, "Dude, you should try to get Colin from Twitching Tongues," or just said it would sound. I think he said it would sound sick if Colin from Twitching Tongues did it. And I was like, honestly, we chop it up sometimes. Like me and Colin,
We chop.
Yeah, I was like, I could probably hit him up and it wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like I recorded it like 2 days later.
you literally did. And I hit my friend Tyler up. Anytime that we play and he's there, he's always in the pit for Snake, and I'm always like, "Yo, Tyler, what's good?" Like,
That's awesome. Thanks, Tyler.
Michael, I had something I wanted to ask you that I forgot.
Yes.
In I think it's You and Me. Is that the one with the line, "It's kill or be killed"?
Yes.
You hit a little melody where you go, "Kill or be killed."
Yeah.
Let's go. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it's I'm like, I wish there was more of it.
No, I feel you.
Where did that
You're
come
not
from?
the first person to like
Andy.
It was Andy actually specifically was like, oh, like when I would hit little things like that, you'd be like, oh shit. Like,
Because I think there's one more later on in the record. I can't remember which song it is.
Yeah,
I think you
something
do it literally twice on the record.
Yeah.
And
It's out of our hands. It's out of
Yeah.
our hands.
Yeah. If you, but here's the thing: if you take your time working up to that,
yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
the people will be more receptive.
I'm not
to it.
opposed. I just feel like I wasn't really thinking about it until like even doing that. Like I kind of just did it in the take, like those higher ones, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it's called. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't be like opposed to doing shit like that.
Cool.
You know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I really, truly, genuine. Like it.
And I feel like
The
it
first time
gives
I
us
heard
something
it,
to, like do on the next one that's a little different. Maybe if I could like start
Keep
doing-
evolving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Keep evolving. That's the way to do it. And in hardcore, it's such a difficult genre to evolve in
Yeah, for sure.
because you can just lose them so fast. But if you do slow and steady, kind of wins the race.
Yeah.
Here.
it's like you've
You
said
gave him a
1,000
taste.
times. You evolve, don't change.
Evolve, don't change.
For sure.
But you don't need to do either of those things because you've got a proven system here that rocks. Not Through Blood is going to be on some album of the year lists. I guarantee it.
For sure.
Thank you, Michael, for joining us. This was awesome. This is our longest one in a while.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you start a tour very soon. We will see you. We will see you there. I'll be at a couple of them.
Really? Oh, okay. Now I thought you meant in Japan for a second. I was like,
Oh, that too. But then there's a U.S. one too.
yeah. I'm not gonna see you in Japan though.
No, I won't be in Japan.
Ah, fuck. That would have been
Not
awesome.
yet.
I'll go with you if you want. To go.
You guys,
But you have a great
why
time.
you guys go do this there?
We would love to.
That'd be
Who
fucking
can
awesome.
afford it, brother?
I don't know.
Japan,
man.
if you're listening, fly us on out.
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Michael. You're the man. Not Through Blood out now. DAZE Media Group Records.
Yeah.
Lumpy.
Have a great
Lumpy.
day.
Peace.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.